left. So Varun was like, "No,
Yeah.
sir, don't go. I can see you." And then I did this. So he's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" He couldn't
You
felt
couldn't
surprising.
comprehend it.
I was
Yeah,
a
exactly.
little freaked out. I didn't know you because you guys aren't on Zoom too often. You guys just start, right, and do it on Discord. So
Yeah, but you just have to like play with the settings. Zoom is
right.
actually kind of cool. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I started it.
kind of
Wait.
fun,
Wait, oh shit! No, wait.
Okay.
No, wait. No, wait. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, um, do the like intro.
Do the intro. All right, Advay, do the intro. Come on, start.
Oh yeah, Advay, do the intro.
Yes, so welcome to Joker Society. Today we have Varun as Heath Ledger's Joker, me as Zack Snyder's Joker, Shruthin as the Joker baby.
No, I'm
Cyril
Todd Phillips Joker, obviously.
Oh, fuck you. That's mine.
Sorry, I took it. Just change it.
we
real
have
quick.
No,
I'll be
the-
Joker.
The irony is that I'm wearing a Captain America t-shirt. Is that like off-brand or something?
Oh, bro, you can wear
Okay.
it.
Am I
so-
allowed in here?
Ren is Kevin Feige then, and yeah, I think that's all the Jokers for today.
So, what about me?
Yeah.
Oh
Who
yeah,
are
Cyril.
you? Oh,
I
Cyril.
don't know. What if you have to choose between Todd Phillips Joker and Jack?
Cyril gets the Akshay Kumar joke.
No, wait.
What's the
Cyril
Akshay
gets the
Kumar
TikTok
Joker?
Joker.
Oh wait, you don't know the Akshay
The
Kumar
Rick
Joker?
Star. What is that guy's
The
name?
Rick Star.
Rick Star. Oh. Rick Star. Yeah.
There's an
that one,
Akshay
okay.
Kumar Joker. I had no idea.
Oh, Akshay Kumar Joker. That's my most like review on Letterboxd.
There's a Dilip Joker. What are you talking about?
Is that Lakshmi Bomb?
Oh yeah,
Joker.
Dilip Joker.
Yeah.
No,
Why didn't
come
I
on,
select
guys.
that?
That's my most liked review, dude, on Letterboxd. The Akshay Kumar
Oh
Joker.
yeah. Yes, that I do.
My most
What
liked
is the?
one
Oh, there is a
Most liked.
movie. Okay, that
Yeah.
movie named Joker. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Bro, Ren, you don't have a Letterboxd, right?
No, I do
Yes,
have a
like,
letterbox, but it's
he's
very
not a
dormant
cinephile,
and
guys.
dead. I'm not a
A
cinephile.
true cinephile.
Yeah. No. No, because I just got. How do I put it? I found it very tedious to like find every movie that I watched so far and
You don't
review
have to
because
like do
like
that.
Yeah, Cyril.
You don't have
should
to do that.
remember
You just
all
I
the
felt
movies
like
you
I had
watched
to
too.
do it. I don't know. I felt like I had to do it to prove my worth as a cinephile.
Wow,
Right.
wow, what
How do
a
you-
letterbox.
What a
What a
Letterboxd
letterbox
you
you
must
must
have.
Letterboxd, you should
What a
have had
letterbox
if you had
would
done
have
that.
had.
You would have
Yeah,
had.
would have had.
The concept and the idea of Friends Letterbox itself is fascinating. Do you have an album of the year? No one
It's
uses
just-
album of the
No,
year.
no. No, my letterbox would be just be 8 mile, 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 and just 8 mile
4,000
again.
reviews of
I
8
just
Mile.
watch 8 mile
My-
all day.
8 mile, 8
My
mile, 8 mile,
letterbox
8
is
mile.
just-
Because
Oru
I'm-
Korean padam, 8 mile, 8 mile, 8 mile.
No, I actually
Yeah.
have a letterbox like
I'm a
that.
true
like,
hip hop fan. That's how you know I'm a true hip hop fan.
Gully
I
Boy,
just
8
watch
mile,
8 mile all day. And jerk off to
Yeah.
Marshall Mathers.
The
Mathers. Is it Mathers or Mathers? How do you
Marshall Mehta.
Yeah.
You got nailed it on the head.
Meta.
The true hip hop fan. I think
Came out
Cyril's
again.
letterbox only has Inherent Vice and like the
Yeah.
Grand Budapest.
Yeah.
You get
like
4
Peter.
places to keep your movies.
Yeah.
in. People complain about it.
Paul
being too
Thomas
late.
Anderson made just one movie. Paul Thomas Anderson
And
just
that's
made one
Inherent
movie.
Vice.
It's called Inherent Vice.
That's Inherent Vice.
And there has
I
only
used to
been
think-
there's only one person who's seen it, and it's Cyril.
Cyril.
no, I used to think Punch Drunk Love was like my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. But no, Inherent Voice is so much
Cyril, someone's behind. you.
Inherent.
everlasting, you know.
Inherent.
I have a feeling
Inherent, yeah.
Cyril is Thomas Pynchon at this point of time. No, think about it. Nobody has ever seen Thomas Pynchon for real. Cyril is Thomas Pynchon.
Yeah, 70-year-old.
He's not denying it.
He's not denying it. He just did it.
He just
Have you seen me in the
shrugged
same
and ate
room
egg
as Thomas
scrambles.
Pynchon?
I know
No,
who
we
Thomas
haven't.
Pynchon is.
Nobody has. Thomas Pynchon
Also.
wrote
Inherent Vice.
Inherent Vice.
Oh.
And yeah, the guy is like an enigmatic, mysterious figure. You don't have pictures or anything of the guy or where the guy is from and whatnot. But the guy kind of has show. I think I've heard that he has a cameo in, like, he shows up somewhere as an extra or something in Inherent Vice or somewhere. I'm not very sure.
Yeah,
But nobody
there's a-
knows who he is because, well,
like
Thomas
there's
Pynchon.
this thing where like well, Joaquin, when the interviewers asked Joaquin Phoenix, he was like, yeah, he was like very involved with the movie. But then the interviewers
Yeah.
asked Paul Thomas Anderson, he was like, no, Joaquin is lying. He wasn't involved in the movie. And then they asked Josh Brolin, and then Josh Brolin was like, well, I mean, he is in the movie, so he's pretty involved. So that's, you don't know who to believe, because all of them might be
Yeah.
lying, you know.
I mean,
Yeah. Or all of them might be saying the.
Wait, what
Yeah,
what did everyone other than Cyril think of Inherent Vice?
I loved Inherent Vice.
Yeah.
I think
love
it's
Inherent
unanimous,
Vice.
right? It's pretty like
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
loves Inherent Vice until
Advay
they
gave it
don't.
3.5.
No,
I
Advay
still
gave.
don't know what. I don't know what
Advay
happened
gave
in that
3.
film.
Listen,
I've seen it
Advay.
twice. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I
Nobody
guess
cares.
that's
Why
the
do you give
point.
Taste of Cherry a 3?
Yeah, what
Okay,
the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh yeah.
You think
This
you have
one-
opinions?
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. I had an opinion. The thing is, see, I gave it a 3 generously because on an
Oh.
enjoyment level, I didn't enjoy it at all.
Oh.
I admire what he's going for, but I just didn't get with it. I still don't know why it's called Taste of Cherry. I still don't know why it's called that.
So this is a oh.
Does he say it in the
You.
movie? You're like a taste of. I'm some kind of taste of cherry.
Don't
Yeah,
commit
David
suicide,
Ayers
bro.
wrote it. on the-
You taste
David-
like cherry.
Yeah.
You
Bro,
taste like
don't
cherry.
commit suicide, man.
Come on,
Taste
dude.
Like a
cherries.
taste of cherry.
Come on, dude.
Yeah,
Taste
so
my cherries,
cherry,
dude.
don't kill yourself.
Don't die, dude. Why don't you want to taste my cherry?
So I want to say something though, like in the good spirit of
Say it-
talking
they
about,
talk about the
Inherent
cherry.
Vice. Inherent Vice.
Okay, yeah.
Just 1 second. Thing is, I fucking hate some of these cinephile pages on Instagram. Like, so when Velia Perunal came out, I'm not kidding. Some motherfuckers were saying that it's like Inherent Vice. I am not. And
Dude, the way Cyril looked up in disgust, he's like, the fuck?
no, wait. I have some info on Cyril.
Oh.
On Cyril. I can't pull up this picture. As you have that picture, Lama. If you have this picture, pull it up. Okay. This thing is, me and Nikhil, Neonarayanan on Twitter, we spend our free time like watching random
Oh
theater
shit! Yeah! Oh
response
shit!
videos.
Yeah!
Theater
I remember
response
that.
videos. And we
Cyril was
saw
in it.
Belia Perunal theater response in Vanida Vinida Theatre Kochi. Guess who came out and gave an opinion about the movie to the press? Mr.
Cyril
Cyril
Thomas
Abraham
Pynchon.
Dennis.
Thomas Pynchon.
No, we noticed Oridude at first, obviously. Like, but then he was behind Oridude as well. So the press guy asked him, "Engane the cinema? How's the movie?" And he was like, "Kollam korpulla." That's his
And
review.
then you
of
went on Letterboxd and gave it a 1 star.
You lied to the press. Do you have integrity, Cyril Abraham Dennis? I'm calling
He
your
had
ass
this
out.
video on Instagram long before I knew him, right? Like there was this idea when I saw Allison Day, I was like, oh shit, you know, these people are like big people. And then after that, I went and like I followed Cyril, right? And then after some time he posted something, and in that post there was the video, bro, where he's in the theater. What was the video about? I don't remember.
So I saw like 100 movies like
Ah.
in the summer of 2020. So and I wanted clout.
What do you think
Because
your
of
cast
that.
and rank was?
Rating 100 movies I saw over the summer.
Right.
Number
didn't
one,
rate it.
Snyder
Number
Cut.
Inherent Vice, Inherent Vice, Inherent Vice, Inherent Vice.
I didn't watch Inherent Vice in the summer. I watched it in like
I watched it every other
February.
day of the year.
Yeah.
I saw it standing up once. Like the last time I saw it, I was standing up the whole time. I couldn't, like, I was too excited to sit. I don't know. I was standing
Alright.
up. It was
Okay, fine.
exciting.
Advay, I think you already did the intro. Did you do the intro? I don't remember.
Yeah, everyone's Joker except Ren. He's Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Cyril's
I-
Akshay Kumar. All right. So, okay, fine. Cyril, what do you think of the Snyder Cut?
We are talking about the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, we're talking about. You want to talk about
Oh,
Cherry
wait.
first?
Well,
All right, fine. Cyril,
well,
what do you
it
think of
depends
Cherry?
on.
Depends on
Cherry,
what? Depends
okay.
on these nuts. What do you think of Cherry?
Okay, so Cherry.
It
Oh,
is
shit.
cinema.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
So Cherry
An
is
opinionated
on the
young
big
man.
screen.
Cherry is a. Should I read like a synopsis of it first or something?
No one cares.
Has
No one
anyone,
watches the
not seen
podcast,
it?
Cyril. If anyone
Oh,
watches, it's going
yeah,
to be the
shit.
5 of us.
Okay, so Cherry is an extremely is a really bad movie. It is my least favorite movie I've seen in like a really long time. I gave it a 1 star because like I thought it was like trying to do something, but I can't tell what it's trying to do. Like it's so fucking weird. Like there's like
I'm sorry to
as
interrupt, but can I have a question? Is he talking about the Snyder Cut or Taste of Cherry? Because both of
No,
these
no,
have
no.
been reviewed to be interchanged.
Cherry.
Talking about Cherry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's
Just
talking about Cherry, the movie
Russo
directed,
brothers
Just
indie
starring,
film Cherry.
starring the Russo
Tom
brothers,
Holland.
directed
Tom Holland.
by Tom
Yeah.
Holland.
Or in other words, Spider-Man. Oh wow. Ooh.
Directed by
Yeah,
Amos
so-
Kiarostami.
so
Starring Tom
Cherry.
Holland.
Starring Tom. Yeah. Cyril,
In that
come on.
movie,
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Holland looks like somebody who is not allowed to be around Tom Holland alone.
The
He
last
looks like a
shot, right?
pedophile, is what I'm saying.
The
Towards
last
the
shot,
end,
right?
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
If the joke wasn't clear enough for you.
the
Yes.
the last shot, he looked like those mutual fund kids do. I was
Yeah,
like,
Flipkart, yeah.
he looked like the Flipkart ad. I was laughing. I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, did you see the bank that he robbed in the film
Yeah, it's
Shitty
called
Bank?
Shit poop bank or something.
Even when he's applying for like the army, the sergeant's name is
Bank
like
fucks America or
someone.
something like that.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Dude,
it just says
yeah,
someone.
Bank fucks America. It's so deep and all that shit.
Oh,
Like all
wow.
the banks
Dude,
have
so
Subtleties of
poetic,
filmmaking,
man.
dude.
society
How do you
names,
do
shit like fuck you America, all that kind of shit. It's just so good.
If you pay attention at the start of the movie, the first person they thank is society. Thanks to society.
It's a film
Damn, they
that,
really went
you
for
know,
it.
I'm just looking at this background whenever you say society. Society count 1.
see, like,
That's just,
the film seems like it wants to have a good time kind of vibe, you know, with the kind of choices they make, but it's so dead and monotone.
Wait, you're talking about Good Time, the movie, or Good Time as in like
No,
a
no.
good time?
No,
Have a
see,
good time.
Cherry, it has so
General.
many energetic choices, and it feels like it needs to have a good time kind of vibe. Good time as in Safdie Brothers.
Right.
But it's so monotone and like dead. Like there's so like the shot with the butthole. Like
No.
it feels like something that would be there for a second, but it's just put there so lazily.
Who cinema?
Yeah.
It feels like the Russo brothers trying to tell everyone, hey, we also make movies. We're not just, Marvel guys. We make
Yeah,
cinema.
exactly.
I would have to come out and say at this point of time that I did
Out of
not
his
watch
asshole.
Taste of Cherry.
Taste of Cherry.
I did not watch Taste of Cherry because it looks like a because it looks
You
like a
mean
fucking
cherry?
wannabe
You mean
rip-off
cherry. Are you
talking about-
A24 movie.
Are you talking about Cherry?
Not taste.
Taste of Cherry is by Abbas
Freudian-
Kiarostami.
What is that movie's name? Cherry. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Cherry. Whatever that fucking movie.
Freudian
No, I'm just
slip.
like,
We have finally realized that Ren hates Taste of Cherry.
Yeah, Red.
yeah.
It's just been lying.
Cherry.
I am
Pull out this.
anti-cherry. Cancel my ass. No, it just looks like whenever I saw any sort of like, I don't know, promo material or something, it just looks like Russo brothers are trying so hard to get some indie cred. Like they wanna it looks like a wannabe A24 movie.
Right.
I'll like the best way to describe that Cherry is like they tried to do what Todd Phillips tried to do, but it was so much worse.
Yeah, exactly. See, Todd Phillips tried to copy good movies. Cherry tried to copy Todd
Copy
Phillips.
the Joker. The Cherry just tried to copy the Joker.
No, I'll say this.
Cyril, pull up Varun's letterbox review of the Joker right now.
Joker
Joker
gnaws at
looks at you and gnaws at you until you give in. By the end, the Joker is bigger than you because it is.
Imagine me describing
4.5
Cherry
for
like
now.
that. No, I'll say this though. I think Cherry is my favorite music video of all time, dude. There was this one scene where they're like going through this serious regiment of like people in the army.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then every time I think the sergeant says something, it comes like lyrics. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? This is about
What is this
abuse.
movie?
This is about
Dude, like the
abuse.
movie is so weird. It's like it starts off so cheerfully with like the fourth wall breaking monologue and shit. It just tries to become dark and it doesn't. It fails.
I
It's
know,
like a
right?
15-year-old who first watched Pulp Fiction for the first time is trying to make
That's
a
how
movie.
we have described every movie you've seen.
Yeah,
That's
that is
literally
Didn't
a
make
review
sense
for
this
just
time.
Snyder Cut.
That's my review for every movie, dude. Like any movie.
Taste of
that-
Cherry.
It's a
Pulp
Cherry is
Fiction
like
and
a
Cherry is
56-year-old watched Pulp Fiction and tried to
Yeah,
make
no,
it.
that's his review for Citizen Kane as well, even though Pulp Fiction hasn't come out yet.
Yeah,
When
that's
Citizen
his
Kane
review for Pulp Fiction.
Orson Welles.
Feels like Quentin Tarantino just saw Pulp Fiction, dude.
And he just made it.
Yeah,
Thought he could make a
what a
movie.
hack.
What a fucking
Orson
hack.
Welles on his deathbed saw Pulp Fiction and decided to make Citizen Kane.
David Fincher saw Orson Welles watching Pulp Fiction and decided to make Mank. You know, there are only like 7 people in the entire planet who will get these jokes.
Five of them
this.
are over here.
Everyone else is on Letterboxd. You just post this on Letterboxd. There's a community tab. Just fucking post this there.
You know, if we hit the 2-hour mark, we can post it on Letterboxd too. Like,
Okay.
yeah, most of our
the
episodes.
2 hour mark. Right. You know, Letterboxd started
you
reviewing
soon
like
too.
short films and all of that in between. That sucked, dude.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, people
Is
get some-
Glossolalia still up?
Yes.
It's still up.
Gloss-
His
That's-
wife.
that's
Did you
all I
guys watch? Did you guys watch Cyril's? Oh, dude, fuck. Wait. I want Adway to review Cement Summer. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
Cyril. That's what Cyril suggested, right? He's like,
Okay.
Adway could review Cement Summer. Okay, what do you
first
think
of
of
all,
it
I want-
honestly? Because we all have
It-
our opinions on it.
Yeah, I'll say this. First of all, this is my unbiased review. Even though I was kicked out of the film, my shorts weren't there. It
Oh.
holds no grudge over how I feel about the movie. It's it's good. I liked some of the parts. There were some other parts as well, and I like the animated part with the quantum physics. That was nice. Who made that?
Pranav.
Cyril,
or-
ask Cyril.
Okay, no one here.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, none of us.
Yeah, that was nice. And I don't have much to say. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was
We were
good.
all just waiting to see if he would say any of our names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he
No,
didn't.
he's not because he's real scared. He's like, "Fuck, I'm going to see Varun tomorrow. He's going to beat my ass."
I'm a very opinionated person. I have opinions. So, I don't want to let that out. But yeah, it was.
No, what are your opinions? That's the whole point. That's how.
No, we
reviews
want
work.
to know your opinions. It's all right.
Yes,
It's the free
fine.
form. Right?
Like
Yeah,
you can
it's
say
fine.
Cyril's
It
was
was more of an
your ears
experimentation.
hurt. The Cyril's
Yeah.
Cyril's part.
Yeah, no,
you
that-
didn't want to be alive anymore.
I just skipped it. I was going through it. I'm like, no, not today.
not for the 6th time.
How did you edit it?
The thing is, every time you start the movie, you have to go through Cyril's part. I know he took care of most of the editing or probably the arrangement or something, because he did that on purpose. He wants to torture us.
Wait,
He
made,
wants us to go through this. fucking-
Sort of, I have full creative freedom, right? You don't mind if I
Make your ears bleed.
This is
Wait,
what
he
Dante
made the-
wrote about.
He
When
made
he
the
wrote
opening.
about hell.
guys, if
Cyril
you
made
can't
the
hear
opening scene.
anything after the 3rd minute, it's not the video. It's probably your ears.
Wait, Cyril made the opening scene.
Yeah.
Who made,
The
oh,
part
yeah.
after like the screen capture part is my
Oh.
segment.
Yeah, bro, very Gaspar Noé, just wanna
Gas
you
for
know?
for the ears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in Irreversible, he does this thing for a scene where he puts the sound decibel at a he puts the decibel at such a point where it physically makes you nauseous. Like it's known to
Wow.
make humans nauseous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Cyril went for the opposite of that. He just
No,
wants them to bleed.
no.
But
I
yeah,
think what you're talking about is not this thing. Dude. There's a frequency. I think it's 52
Yeah.
hertz, and if you play it at 52 hertz, you feel nauseous. When you listen to something that has like a 52 hertz undertone, you can't really hear it, but then you feel it, right? It's like this bass that's keeps on playing.
exactly.
Yeah, but actually like unironically, is it like actually like unbearable? Because I thought it was just
No.
No,
distortion.
dude, I thought it was fine. Like I don't know why
No,
people
no,
No,
make
no,
this
this
thing
no,
was
of.
no.
fine.
Is it
Are you talking
does
about
it like work or
irreversible or are you
something?
talking about your segment?
My segment,
No, we are
like
kidding.
the distortion.
No,
I
it
know
wasn't
you're kidding. Like
unbearable.
I'm
Trust
asking, like,
me.
is it like
Renz listened to Death Grips.
Unironically,
What
it
are you
was
talking
nice.
about?
Yeah.
And
Fine.
Mersbo, like,
Oh
and
yeah.
Drake,
Yeah.
which is
I don't think
yeah,
I think Cyril, you would really like noise rock as a genre.
yeah,
I do? Yeah, I do a lot.
yeah.
You do? Do you listen
Drake,
to noise rock?
But
Yeah.
best noise rock artist. Scorpio, best noise rock album all time.
I only listen to
Of the smart,
underground.
like,
I only listen to underground artists. Have you heard of Drake?
yeah. Again, J. Cole is my favorite underground artist of all time.
I personally prefer Eminem, but
Oh
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest, they're all good.
Couple of
Again,
people,
8 Mile, 8 Mile, 8 Mile.
Have you heard of Tupac?
You got to
Wait, is 8 Mile actually good? I was gonna watch it the other day, but
8
I just
Mile,
Oh, you need to
8
watch
Nice.
1 to 7 Mile to understand it.
no, I don't want to watch the.
You need to walk 7 miles in his shoes to
Understand it.
understand that.
It's a method film. You have to prepare yourself to watch it.
8 Mile is like, I don't know, 8 Mile is what how do I put it? Like people who say what all lives matter, people know. They'll pull up 8 Mile because it's like, this is also racism. Okay, you see everyone else is black, Eminem white. In hip hop, that is racism. That's what they use.
It's what people who only listen to Eminem thinks how the industry
Yeah.
works.
Industry works.
And I saw it like when I was 40 and I was like, damn, bro.
I was like, it's so deep,
Sorry.
macha.
Yeah.
This is
Sex scene? Whoa. Kind of.
Wait, Cyril is on the call. Like, tone it down, Lama. The fuck?
Dude, like
Why
Why you
everyone
saying the
other
S
than
word
both
and
of
all?
us is like 60. All of them are
Minor.
60.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Shruthin, what do you think of Cherry by Abbas Kiarostami?
Cherry, like, yeah. They, like, in it, I like the fourth wall breaking monologue thing. I thought it was going to be something, but then it was just so, like, what they tried to fit so many things into it, and it does not even look as it looks so like happy compared to what the subject matter is. Like
Yeah.
some of the editing and shit, it's just the lighting, everything's so bright, and like they're trying to talk about PTSD and shit. And Tom Holland, maybe Tom Holland's not a bad actor. At least the directing sucks
the
ass.
directing is
Oh,
bad.
fuck.
No, I'd say Tom Holland. He's shown some talent.
No,
I
if
don't
I
know.
gave it a 1.5, it's purely because of Tom Holland. It's just because of Tom Holland.
Yeah, but
He
the
makes
thing
it
is, like,
terrible.
Yeah,
the
he tried to
both the
do
leads are like actually kind of okay, but
Isn't
they
what's the
don't
other
feel
lead's
like
name?
adult.
that girl.
Yeah. Dude, that's the thing. I couldn't take this movie seriously because they look 14.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they
Yeah.
look like a teenage couple, like just
They
in
do.
like college maybe, or in like
They
high
look
school.
like a
I
coming
don't
of
think I
age
wouldn't
story
even say
couple.
college. I wouldn't say college, dude. I was
Yeah.
looking at
How am I
the
supposed to
school.
believe that they
female
are
lead.
heroin addicts robbing
No, I was
banks
looking at the
Bro.
for like
female lead, and every time she tried to put forward a convincing performance, I'm like, okay, great, but you're trying to tell me that you're what, 30? No, you look 13. This is
yeah,
not
they're
convincing.
incredibly
You know
miscast.
Joe Russo was in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
what do you
didn't know
mean?
that.
He was a main actor. This was directed by Tom Holland.
His cameo was so obnoxious. It's like he was trying to do
True
all those
Benny, the
like
true Benny Safdie moment. It's
Tarantino,
just,
like
yeah.
the
True Benny
Tarantino
Safdie.
cameos. Like Tarantino, even though even his cameos are like obnoxious, like you wouldn't be like, oh, Tarantino, like, oh, you know, Tarantino. But in this, when Joe Russo came on, I was like, is this like this cool, you know, big money guy or
You can
something
have
who
anyone on
owns
the
the
bar you
bar or
want,
something?
man. Come on.
Yeah.
I liked him
Oh,
better
so
in
that
Endgame
was
though.
Joe Russo, the guy in the bar. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That
Endgame.
guy.
Haven't you watched Endgame?
Did you did you
Isn't Joe Russo in
confuse him for
Endgame?
Tom
Before
Holland?
He was the gay guy.
before Endgame came out, they were like, there's an LGBTQ character in it, and it was Joe Russo.
Joe Russo.
You know how
He
they
was
say he's LGBTQ? He's like,
Dating his brother.
I went out on a date, and I didn't like him. That's it. That is just some line.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. It was like an AA meeting for what? What is the
Indian
draw?
No, they cut the scene out. They asked him what was his name, and he said Anthony.
So the same things there in Onward. The same kind of LGBTQ thing, and it got controversy for some reason. Like a girl
Oh yeah,
character
I
just
know. Like,
references her
no, not just that.
girlfriend,
Like
Oh yeah, right. It's a
the
police. It's
in
a police
on.
lady or something.
police
No?
officer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
the thing about is like these minimal, like really small LGBTQ representations, they can be cut out in order to be seen in like some place like China, where
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, overseas.
concepts like
Yeah, right, right,
yeah,
right.
they don't accept it. So like if you want to release your movie in China, you'll have
Yeah,
to cut
but
this.
is China? I don't think China is generally
Not
that
China
like.
specifically, like
Yeah, I
No,
get what
countries
you
like
mean, though. Yeah.
no. To
very
like,
conservative
that's how
countries.
you know about the Mummy, right? The film
Hmm.
has like a shitload of exposition and unnecessary exposition. You're watching the thing happen,
Is it
right?
the recent one?
The one with Tom Cruise, dude.
I haven't
Yeah.
Yeah,
watched
the
that.
recent one.
Yeah, it's horrible, right? It's a terrible movie. I think it's fucking
Yeah. I
horrible.
have not seen it.
Yeah, but anyways, it's like a lot of exposition, right? And then people were figuring out why there's like so much exposition. It's because they can release it in China, and make people who don't speak English understand. It's not to make the American audience understand it, so that people in China are
Oh,
Yeah.
convinced
yeah.
that the story, they it, how like sometimes when how world cinema people have these dialogues where you watch something and you're like, okay, this is a joke that people of their culture would understand, and like
Hmm.
something that they would understand, people who live there would understand. In the Mummy, that's like completely eradicated. There is no room for interpretation. It's all exploited. It's like what exploited? Explained, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
weird. It's weird, dude. It's a stupid film. I hate it so much.
Yeah,
But
but like the in order to like appeal to like an international audience is like a
Hmm.
really hard thing to do. And only few movies like Parasite, like even if like, have you guys seen Yi? Anyone over here?
no,
No,
no, I've
Yi?
heard of it. I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I've heard
so
of it.
in Yi is an excellent film, one of the best movies I've ever seen. Yeah, so like
Damn.
there's a small like joke kind of thing, like where one of the characters is like sitting at a bar, and then the bartender says something and the character says something, and the bartender shows off this really awkward facial expression, and it's supposed to be a joke, I think, but I don't find it funny because I like maybe people do act that way in Taiwan, but I'm not familiar with it, so that way I don't find it funny, or like nor do I like find it relatable or anything.
Right.
So like even like the minute things like matter in that sense. So the reason why a big studio like Universal would want to appeal to a national audience, and especially to make money in like places like China and all that, it's
It's
yeah.
obvious. I mean, I don't know, dude. There
Even
was a
here, like even people, I guess I don't know if it's the same generally. Like at least when I was younger, like people really did flock to these like huge budget blockbuster movies. People watch that shit a lot. Like I don't think like but this is a bad comparison comparing Mummy to Jurassic Park, which is actually a good movie.
Oh no, what are
And
you talking about? I compare those every day.
Yeah.
They're on the same
yeah,
plane.
Yeah, they're both mainstream big budget.
technically, yeah. So
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, like released what 20 years ago, was a long time ago. A
93.
lot of people went to
Hello.
watch that
The,
shit.
the dinosaurs are almost as old as Tom Cruise. Yeah, finish. I'm
And
sorry.
Wait,
yeah, the
Jurassic
whole
Park or
international
Jurassic World?
audience, the Avatar, a lot of people went to watch that, even though it was
That's because,
not.
dude, Avatar. You guys don't remember the protagonist, right? the protagonist of Avatar is just like this blank slate, because you can replace him for
Yeah.
anyone. You can replace him with any character anywhere in the world. There are sometimes are these characters. I was watching the man. The really I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. It's the Sanal Kumar film that I saw like yesterday. Can someone pronounce
ഒഴിവ്
it for me?
ദിവസത്തെ കളിയാണോ?
Yeah, it's that.
ഒഴിവ്
Okay, right?
ദിവസത്തെ കളി.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was watching it, and there was like a lot of jokes that I like. If suppose that was seen with like subtitles um, by an English audience, it wouldn't have translated. I'm guessing the entire second half of the film wouldn't have translated to like an international
Yeah.
audience. But you still appreciate it. You understand that, okay, fine. Sometimes you need to, it's a little better that, okay, these people have their own way of working. It's fascinating, right? Because you
Yeah.
see people so unique
But
from
it's
you.
also quite surprising when we're not just looking at international cinema, if we're like looking at regional cinema as well. Like some even Malayalam movies where most of the jokes might be very inherently Mallu, but these movies still make good money elsewhere. Like for example, commercially, if we're looking at it, Premam, right? I watched Premam recently, and I was like every one of my Tamil friends know about Premam, and it was like a big ass hit in Tamil Nadu. But while I was watching Premam, the most of the appeal which comes from Premam is the kind of nostalgia factor or something, the homeliness of the movie or the comfort that it kind of exudes. Like when I asked my Tamil friend if you know what like Kuliki Sarbat is and why they put kaskas into the soda, they have no fucking idea what it is about. Most of the jokes in Premam and most of the like those the intrigue comes from all those elements which are inherently Mallu. So I'm surprised how it became that big of a hit in Tamil Nadu when most of its charm is like the relatability for the Malayali audience, which
Right.
is surprising to be honest.
I think that I think Corey does films, right? He's this Japanese director, and the sense of home is universal. I feel like, because when you watch his films, you have this. Have you guys seen Shoplifters?
No.
Yeah.
You
Shoplifters,
have
yeah.
the sense
Yeah.
of that homeliness, right? That's directed by
Exactly,
Corey.
yeah.
There's this
Yeah,
film
yeah.
called Still Walking, which is like, it's so close to my heart, even though I know nothing about their culture. Okay, fine,
Yeah,
forget that.
exactly.
When you watch Shin-chan, when you watch like Doraemon, that gives this sense of home. Although it's in a
Yeah.
country that's so far away from your place, and a country that's so distant from what you know and how you're brought up,
Yeah.
right? The idea of home is more universal than you think it is, I think.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
the fact that Malayalam films, you don't find the sense of home in like Bollywood films, you know. I think the fact that Malayalam films, like in
Mainstream
general,
Bollywood movies.
yeah, of course, of course.
Mainstream, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, most of from what I've seen, obviously you guys would know better, but from in Malayalam movies, that most of them are like very character based, and a lot of it doesn't really focus on the story as much as it focuses on
Yeah,
the
character
environment.
progression.
And exactly,
Yeah.
that's what really matters. If you think about it, if you could
Yeah.
convince an audience that these people really exist, what more do you want? I don't
I
know.
guess like hello, wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess a really good example of that is Kammattipadam.
Haven't seen it too.
They
Yeah.
you
I
haven't
have.
seen it?
I've seen.
You
I saw
have
it
it?
long back. I saw it long back. I
Damn.
don't remember.
Okay. Yeah.
They do it so well. Like he does it really
Yeah.
well. It's more so than the story, which is like a
Yeah.
very neo-noir-esque story with like non-linear plotline and all that. It's the characters and like the whole of that place, Kammattipadam itself, that stands out so
Yeah.
much. I think no matter like you don't really need to be a Malayali to watch that and like really appreciate the movie because it's
But if
so
you're from the city,
Yeah.
you get a far better appreciation of it, because when I was watching it, my mother literally grew up in those areas that the places that's shown in the movie.
Mhm.
So I get a lot of like, so my mother, while I was watching it, was giving me giving me a whole lot of insider info on, oh, this is how it is, this is this place, Padma Theatre angane. So me being from Kochi as well, like it just you just feel like you're kind of related to that movie. Kammattipadam is my favorite Malayalam movie of the
Yeah.
last decade.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Mine
Yeah,
too.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Wow.
I'm
I
calling it.
don't.
It's my
Like,
favorite.
I mean, I've seen it like 4 times over the 2 edits I've made. So yeah,
Dude, the Swans edit was like uncalled for. I was weirdly like, wow, how is this working?
Yeah.
As well as
it
it
was
did.
fucking awesome. Yeah.
I think
Oh,
initially I
Watch
was
it
gonna
because I'm
go
not
for
running.
Rosalia, then like it was Ren who suggested I do Swans. Because
Dude, Ren, on like a small, I'm gonna go on like a small 180 here. What do you think of the new Brockhampton song?
I fucking Brockhampton. I don't know, man. I'm so, like, the thing is, the whole aesthetic. That's the thing I love about
oh
Brockhampton. They
man,
fucking flip it around every single project. Like if we're looking at even All American Trash, their like first mixtape or something, it was a whole different thing. They were kind of figuring out their sound, but Saturation came.
Oh.
They put in their whole minds into the whole project as a whole. Like even the packaging, even the album art, even the fucking box sets that people get if you are to order them.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, so much effort gets put into them. Even Ginger, whole different aesthetic. Iridescence, whole different aesthetic. And the aesthetic that I saw for Roadrunner, the album that's about to come out, I'm like, where do you get these ideas? They're essentially, I kind of know, because they're kind of going for the 2000s era video kind of thing. The whole almost fisheye lens and all that shit. They're going for the 2000s era pop music video thing, but they fucking turned it around with the whole psychedelic shit and like southern inspired experimental pure
Yeah, exactly.
hip-hop.
The
They're
sound
going
itself
back
is
to
so
hip-hop.
contradictory to the music video that's
visuals.
playing.
Yeah.
It's dude,
Yeah.
and you know what blew my mind? I was in love with the song. I'm really liking the song. And then Danny Brown comes on. Holy shit. He's perfect. He like complements the sound. He sounds like the beat. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It blew my mind.
You've obviously listened to Atrocity Exhibitions, right?
Oh my god.
Okay, if anybody hasn't listened to Atrocity Exhibition in this podcast, or anybody's listening,
Advay hasn't
just
listened.
this is this is what I'm gonna say. Just
He's listened to 3 songs in his life.
Yeah. No, before you go balls deep into this, watch the video for the song "Ain't It Funny." It's directed by Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Just watch that video, and you'll fucking get what I mean. Get what that album is about. It is. Danny Brown is insane. Like, I love it when artists just put all their mind, not just song making. That's why I cannot really even though I listen to something, I can't really connect myself to an artist like, let's say, Drake. Right. The thing is, he's just going to pull out the same fucking aesthetic, the same fucking video and everything. It might sound too too simple when you're saying it like this, but the aesthetic and the whole effort that one artist puts into a project is important. It's very important. The music video, the packaging, the album art, the sequencing of the album, everything. Like, I know you're not a big fan of Damn, but I love the album sequencing of Damn. This whole sequencing and how it plays out, how the narrative plays out. Fuck it. We're talking about Brockhampton. If you listen to the Saturation trilogy, you go on to Saturation 3, and the ending
of Saturation 3. Yeah. I know.
It connects back to the first song of Saturation 1, Heat.
Right. When I heard, that's what I heard.
Things.
I heard the entirety of like Saturation in one day, right? And I listened to the end of Saturation 3. I'm like, I've heard this song somewhere else. And then it's the start of Saturation 1, and it makes sense because I don't know, dude. It's weirdly well produced. It's in the sense that it's everything that you're hearing right now in the current hip hop landscape, but better, but like infinitely better. Yeah. I feel like I want to get into this weird dissection about Atrocity Exhibition as well, dude. But people get bored and they leave. At least 3 people here. But I don't know, dude. It's brilliant how
Atrocity Exhibition highly recommended. It is art rap and psychedelic rap at its finest. I consider it one of the greatest albums ever made. I'm not talking about genre. It's one of the greatest albums ever
Even
made.
if you cannot call it one of the greatest albums ever made, I think it's one of the greatest albums ever made. If you
I think,
cannot,
yeah, definitely.
but you will, like, if you listen to the album, you know for a fact that this is one of the most experimental albums ever put. Like, this
Yeah.
is some of the most weird shit your ears will ever listen to. It's
Because
weird.
even just like how you would say that, unironically or ironically, like you would say that Cyril's part in Simon Samba, it's kind of, we do jokingly say that it's testing the people's ears. Like if you're committed enough, you listen to this whole thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
It is very
like that,
experimental.
Danny Brown's voice itself, and that's not his actual voice. He
Oh, yeah.
actually raps in his actual voice. And which
Tell
song
me,
was it?
tell me
what I don't. Tell
know.
me what I
Right,
don't
right.
know. Yeah, in that song, he's actually rapping in this other voice. Otherwise, he's singing like, taking what I do. Some sort of nasally, high-pitched, fucking annoying voice, but it just fits. It
Right.
fits.
Exactly. That's what.
Yeah.
Man, there's this
It's
part
insane.
in, I was watching, do you watch Dead End Hip Hop?
Oh, yeah, I was there.
There was this part in Get High, right, where he starts talking about like, where he starts saying like John Coltrane's name and all of that. He says all of that, right, and then one of the people in Dead End Hip Hop were like, the reason he's saying all these names was because if these jazz musicians existed right now, would they be making the same kind of music?
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? Oh my god! Holy shit! I know, dude. I love that. I love that album so much.
I know we're probably, the most of the panelists is dead right now, but I have to talk about one more person when we're talking about writing like that. And this is another one of my favorite albums. Some rap songs by Earl Sweatshirt.
Dude. Oh my god.
Not just the production, the writing on that album. Like how he connects a motif. It's just him being depressed as fuck. But throughout, it's this him talking about how he was drowning and we were all seeing it, but nobody was telling him that he was drowning. That is the whole motif of the album, and through that whole thing, why he connects that is because he's talking about going fishing with his father, who is estranged right now, and it's just fucking brilliant. But people just know Earl Sweatshirt now for the meme that is East, and it's such a shame.
Dude, there's this. I think in the first song, "Shattered Dreams," right? And there's this one line.
Imprecise words.
Oh my god, dude! There's this one line I can't remember it. Yeah. Okay, it goes like, "I said peace to my dirty water drinkers," and then nobody trying to get it clean. Oh fuck! What the fuck? Dude, that's so well written. Peace to my dirty water drinkers.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those albums where I go, like, it's something that I go back and listen to, and I'm like, when I feel like I want to write something, but I have no source of inspiration, I go back and listen to like some rap songs, just listening to this very unorthodox, another album which I listen to, and Lama is a big fan of this guy, Ka.
Yeah. Ka. Is it Descendants
of Cain? I like Descendants of Cain. I'm a bigger fan of Honor Kill the Samurai.
Right.
I'm a
Honor Kill the Samurai is really good.
Yeah.
Dude, also you need to get into like music and shit, dude.
Oh, I agree.
You like it. It's like acquired taste for sure.
Music.
Maybe I need to listen to more songs other than Venom. But yeah, dude, I'll definitely try to expand my taste.
I think you should.
Venom.
That is one
I
of
think
the
you'll be
worst
okay with
songs
like
I've ever heard.
listening to the real
I
Slim
have to
Shady.
say that I'm unironically going forth and saying it. That's one of the worst songs ever made. Like,
what are you talking about?
usually,
Venom? Adrenaline Momentum? Adrenaline Momentum even mean? Who says that?
No, dude, I was like, he had the audacity to name drop Edgar Allan Poe and shit in that song.
Every single Eminem bar these days just reminds me of that one video of his where he's like, I used to watch this unironically, and I was like, I had like a weird face when I listened to so much Eminem. I was like, oh man, I want to be a rapper.
I was an Eminem fan too, yeah.
Then like he was like, I can make anything rhyme, and he said, orange, 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 and that's it. That's all he does now. That's all he does.
Again, bro, Lama, I have to ask you this one question though. You've heard of Chris Christopherson, but have you heard of Biz
Wait,
That
wait,
is
wait. Have
that
you
is an
guys?
act,
Advi, tell Advi. He hasn't heard of this.
bruh.
Do you know?
That's an actual lyric in the song called "Tone Deaf," where he goes off and asks people, "You've heard of Chris
Kinda
Christopherson?
Eminem
Well,
kind
I'm
of
Piss
self-aware there.
Christopherson." It's a real lyric from a mainstream artist.
Right.
The most
fuck
He
up,
mainstream
read
artist,
Chris with
probably.
piss. Then he read
No, fuck.
Christopherson with Christopherson.
Bro, okay, fuck it. He's cringy as shit. Okay, fuck it. I'm letting it slide. Rap whatever you want. At least choose a good beat, for Christ's sake. You can afford any fucking producer on the face of the planet. You can afford anybody on the face of the planet, but you choose to fucking rap over the tune, 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 tune beats and go. What the fuck? Like you can do whatever you want.
Oh, dude.
In this,
His I think his earlier albums like his the Marshall Mathers LP, and like that was good, dude. I really enjoyed some of the songs.
was.
I like the
was.
second
second
Marshall Mathers as well, the one with
Yeah,
Kendrick
yeah,
Lamar,
yeah,
the song
yeah.
with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, love game,
Oh.
love game.
Like the
Wow.
whole like I used to really like the way he'd like deal with his problems with not deal in like real life, like in the music, how he'd like it actually explore all those things, and it was actually kind of interesting. And I don't know, I don't listen to him now, so I don't really have much to say. I just don't listen to him at all. I don't even feel like listening to him.
No, I
That's
will.
pretty much it.
The last time I listened to his album, I just wanted to know what this man was gonna do. Like he came out of the side B to Music to Be Murdered By, and
Right.
Music to Be Murdered.
My favorite album.
Like one day
I really wish I was
woke up
murdered
and I
by
was
it.
seeing memes, and I was seeing posts of Music to Be Murdered By is on the top of the whole like #1 hip hop album of all time
Yeah.
and Rate Your Music.
Dude, I do. Which is
Over
weird.
Tupimba Butterfly, Illmatic, Marshall Mathers LP in the
Advi, you've heard of To Pimp a Butterfly, right?
Yes, I started listening to. I haven't done the whole thing, but
Oh,
yeah.
did you like what you're listening to? I mean, it's
No,
kind of like
how
if you
can
listen to Wesley's Theory, you
I listened to that the most, not because I liked it the most. I don't know. I kept going back to that because I keep forgetting it. That's
Oh,
the one I
yeah.
remember the most.
How
though.
can
Wesley's
Stop.
Theory is my
I'm
favorite
not
song of all
listening
time,
to-
dude. It's my
No,
favorite
I'm sorry.
song.
I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight, bro. Listen to Tupimba Butterfly. Like you can't pause it in between and go.
Yeah.
Like listen to the whole thing. man.
You can't listen to it on
Like-
shuffle, you know? You don't you
Yeah,
can't-
you obviously have to
can't
listen to it in order. I know that.
No, not all albums, dude. If you listen to like Mad Villainy and Shuffle, it won't make that much of a difference because there isn't like it's like each song is telling its own
Narrative.
story, which is fucking brilliant, by the way. The way he rhymes.
But do you know which album you should never listen to on shuffle because it is said that it will fucking summon the devil or something. Baby on Baby. Like, have you heard the song Vibes? If you like play it backwards, the baby is reciting the whole,
Bro, the baby,
church of
dude.
the Satan crap or something.
The baby.
Let's
Advi,
go.
The second song I've heard. Let's go.
let's go, dude.
No.
Oh shit.
It's the same song. I love the baby. The baby is so good.
We
Really
just
heard
got
of
Sid saying I love the
Angelic to the
baby.
core.
Guys, clip this out. We got Sid saying I love the baby. Fucking pedophile. Weirdo. Jesus. Oh,
Wait. Have you guys heard Angelic to the Core?
Yes,
Angel to
Corey
the
Feldman.
I have.
Yes, Corey Feldman. Let's go.
What's that?
I
Have
haven't
you-
heard the album, but I saw
You
the
never
Fantano
heard-
review.
Bro, there's a
I
Snoop
heard-
Dogg. There's a Snoop Dogg feature. Okay, that's all I'm going
What
to
the
say.
fuck? Corey Feldman. Who's this guy?
Feldman, Corey Feldman.
American
He's a child
actor. Bro.
He's a child. He was a child actor.
What the fuck?
What?
Dude, this is
You
weird.
should check out the live performances of Angelic to the Core. It's
Dude,
man.
speaking of live
Freddie
performances-
Mercury died for this.
Oh wow.
But like speaking about live performances, right? You seen the live performances by Death Grips? Have you ever heard of what happens in those live performances? It's fucking
know.
satanic, dude.
Do they summon the devil?
Dude, no, it's weird. It's weird. They fucking injure people. They injure the bandmates.
Oh,
There's this the drummer, right, Zach Hill. He he goes wild. He has no limits. This guy goes so wild. He fucking tears his skin, dude, while he's
what the
playing.
fuck?
And they throw like they throw the that I don't know how many MacBooks they've broken. All right, and they throw shit at the audience, and it really depends on whether they'll even appear at their live show. Sometimes they don't even come to their own live shows. They just be like, or they just say something and leave. They like make people spend money, and they just don't appear. And so like whenever they come to their live shows, people are like, all right, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, at least you got to see them. So it's weird, dude. Death Grips is like the most batshit fucking thing I've ever heard of.
Are they like
On the-
24/7
yeah.
on like Xanax, Lean or some shit? How
Oh,
can you?
dude.
Are you
Dude,
like
people
sober
haven't
doing
heard
that?
the main MC Riot, right? I think
MC Riot.
Yeah, they haven't heard him
MC
speak
Riot, yeah.
other than like one interview. There's like one
Yeah,
interview. where he's
I've
speaking.
checked for his interviews, and then I saw
not there.
this. Like, there's this one bit, but he's talking really fast. He's talking out like he's not talking about music. He's talking about like normal existential shit, you know. And there's one
yeah.
interview where like not interview. He's like, Fantana talks about how he met MC Riot, and Fantana
Right.
does an impression of MC Riot.
Right.
Like he goes to a
It's
concert
like
with his
really
wife.
pumped up all the time.
No, Anthony Fantano doing an MC Riot impression is the thing that I need in my life right now. What the
Right.
fuck?
That's weird.
You
Dude,
just have
Avi,
to type in
heard
MC
of,
Riot.
have you
interview.
heard of Anthony Fantano?
Yeah, I know. He's like the YMS of music, I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes. I think he's a bit
Kind of.
bigger though.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
He's way bigger than.
Yeah, he's more. I know he's more.
Because
famous,
dude, the thing
popular,
is,
yeah.
YMS, right? YMS, he reviews obscure. Dude, it's so weird,
He reviews every movie. Like
He does,
you
he
know,
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
because of him, I don't make top 10 of the year lists because he just like puts every other list to shame.
His concept of like
I
not putting
love,
out
like,
Yeah.
top 10 of,
I
it makes so
have
much
to-
sense.
He
I
goes
have
for
to,
it, dude. He watches every film.
he
Us,
does.
we'll just watch 5 Marvel movies and be like, guys, top 10 of the year. Let's go.
Yeah, we
Number
make
1,
lists.
Joker.
But what balls? Do you know the reason?
Speak for
why-
yourself, man.
Yeah. Now
Like
my
his
favorite Marvel movie is
2040 list.
definitely Joker.
No, like his
No, my
Mine's
top
Suicide
one
Squad.
movie of all time, Snyder Cut. Settled. I'm not watching cinema ever again. This is it. I've called it a
This
day.
is the first and
Good
last
ride.
movie I've ever seen.
When I see people make best of the decade, I'm like, dude, have you like genuinely watched?
Have you
any
watched
all
more
the
than 15
movies.
films? Okay.
I really have to like YMS is the reason I started like getting into movies seriously.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's-
same dude.
Like his lists, I watched one of his list videos and I'm like, wow, oh my god, wow, I need to watch this shit. And I just started watching the movies recommended. They were one of the first movies I watched was Antichrist, and damn, that was
Yes.
that was an
Feel good family
experience.
What a, what a,
Started with
favorite-
Lars
I
von
haven't
Trier.
seen Antichrist.
Fun for the whole
You
family.
should, you should. It's is that I don't I think it's like R-rated. I don't think you're supposed
Oh,
to.
no, I
nothing
can't.
rated,
hey,
dude.
PG-13. PG-13.
PG-13.
Yeah, they just like
Hard PG-13. Occasionally say fuck and all.
Yeah.
oof, like yeah, it's good action.
Bro, Nymphomaniac has sex scenes.
Cyril.
Is it Nymphomania?
I didn't
Like
see that.
4 hours
Cyril.
long.
You
I
said
didn't see
it.
that. No,
Cyril-
I didn't.
No, why?
Cyril's,
Uh,
yeah, because your videos weren't turned on, so it sounded like literally every other guy who's speaking into a mic. But
no, the favorite YMS movie is we watched this movie which YMS Shruthin introduced that movie into our
So
lives.
I was just on Twitter and YMS posted this link, which was this movie called Assassins 33 AD. He said it's he and like the description was he was like, this is such a good bad movie, and
He was right.
his description was, this is a movie about jihadists going back in time and killing Jesus. That's what the movie was about.
Ultimate jihad.
Ultimate. They call it the ultimate jihad. they go back in time to 33 AD and murder Jesus Christ. Because, and I'm not kidding. And no, the fact is, they did no research, because they were saying, like, if we kill Jesus at 33 AD when he's 33, like, he won't resurrect again. So the resurrection theory won't be there and Christianity will die. But the thing is, even if the resurrection theory isn't there, the apostles still wrote the fucking Bible. All right, like they still have enough content for the Bible. Christianity will still exist. It's just the
Content.
resurrection theory won't be
It's not a
there.
fucking YouTube channel, idiot. The assassins. Maybe if we kill the
So
creator.
you know this religion called Christianity? Yeah, it's okay.
It's
Give it a
okay.
5 out of 10.
Give it a 5 out of 10.
Was it a 6 and a 4?
Rating
Was it
religion.
a 6 and a
Then a
4?
4.
Letterboxed on religions on Letterboxd.
No, a letterbox review of like Bible, which is essentially
Thoroughly
Passion of
unimpressed.
Christ. Every Passion of Christ review. Passion of Christ.
Yeah, Cyril, what are your opinions on Christianity?
I
It's all
actually
right.
think it's pretty cool.
Did you like the writing?
It's pretty cool, right?
Good
Did you like
enough.
the writing?
I'm the actual Christian here, right?
Right,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm
it's like,
kind of
for sure.
half Christian, maybe, if I'm bandwagoning. My mom's a Christian, so.
Oh, wait, that is literally half Christian. You aren't kind of half.
Yeah.
You're literally half
Not
Christian.
bandwagoning.
I'm like
not
a bit of a
trend.
Christian because I
It's been
live
a
near
trend
like
for
I
fucking
live
thousands
near
of years.
I live near 2 churches, so yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
that-
dude.
I thought you were going to say the Vatican or something, but okay.
There's a church in front of me and there's like a mosque behind me, so I'm like Mata Sauhardam.
Oh, you are the Hindu in the middle.
Yeah.
You are the. Oh, wow.
much.
Dude, that's how they show
Wow,
like
India.
diversity around his area, dude. We have a church here, we have church here, and we have
Bro.
shruthin.
Have you
India.
seen Chris
Shooting is
Tuckman's
India.
review of Get Out? And he pulls up the photo of him and his whole community. That's basically what you're.
Oh wait, that's explained in the Jehovah's
The
Witness
Jehovah's
video. You guys
Witness
saw-
video.
Yeah,
Dude, that shit
yeah,
he
was
was
genuinely
actually-
disturbing, dude. Very, like,
It's
I don't
so
know.
fucked up.
It's
You
very
guys know
What?
Chris Tuckman?
No, I don't know.
What is the,
Chris
what
Tuckman
the-
is
I
like-
don't
Do you know about
this
Chris
is-
It's
Tuckman?
like he's one of
Oh, wait,
the
is
I know
that
Chris
the-
Tuckman. Yeah. I
Get
know
Is
Chris
that
Tuckman eyes,
the-
dude. What are you talking
Is
about?
that
It's
the
the,
like
Dude,
the
the
film
video
reviewer
you
guy. Yeah.
shared, Varun, like that you really like that? It
Oh,
was
yeah,
like a 48-minute video about how he was in the Jehovah's Witness.
That's
yeah,
that
yeah,
awesome?
that
Yeah,
video,
that's a great
like
video, dude.
like he shows that photo in that. So in his Get Out review, he posted that photo, not thinking about this, like the fact that it will get memed. So basically, he was like the community was allowed to hang out with these people who happen
Only
to be
with
black
these people.
or and also part of the Jehovah's Witness. So basically, like he didn't realize it. So like imagine coming out of a bubble and like discovering the world when you're like fucking 20. You don't know
Damn.
anything, and you get clowned to death. It's so sad. It's fucked
It's
up.
weird. Dude, the thing is, I mean, speaking of like Chris Tuckman and like Jeremy Jahns in general, Jeremy Jahns doesn't, I don't know, like I'm sure like none of us, right, in this meeting really like appreciate Jeremy Jahns' taste in films. Not appreciate. I mean, like
don't,
we don't
but,
have
like,
the
you
same taste in
I
films.
haven't
That's
really
what I'm
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
Jeremy
But,
Jahns.
Jeremy Jahns is like
Chris
very
Tuckman-
mainstream. He likes mainstream films. That's
Dude,
it.
even Chris Tuckman is mainstream, but the thing is, Chris Tuckman is also a filmmaker, so he also has that empathetic side towards it. So when he reviews a movie, you know when
Oh,
he's being
man.
empathetic,
Chris
and
Tuckman.
you know when he's
What a guy, dude.
like
You know, when he's like actually when he reviews films, he like makes sure that he finds something to appreciate in it, and he's never passive or negative about a film. Even like in his hilariosity reviews, right, where he makes fun of films, he never really makes fun of a film. He just like he
he praises it so because he had a fun time with
Exactly, that's what.
because
He-
it's so bad it's good.
That's what.
And
But-
like I think Stuckman is like the oldest YouTuber I've been watching. I mean, as in like the longest YouTuber I've been seeing. I mean, the YouTuber I've been seeing for the longest time.
Yeah,
For the
frame.
longest, yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the longest.
Well,
YouTuber.
well, it's fun that you talked about the hilarious, him appreciating that he had fun watching shitty films. To the cardinal and the archbishop of the Church of Riaz Khan is literally in this panel, and you have the audacity to explain these concepts to us.
Right.
We
What's
wrote
Riaz Khan?
we wrote these principles.
Weren't
That
you
your
there
Chris
when we
Tuckerman
saw-
person is ripping off. Okay.
Were you there, Cyril, when we saw Moonam Niyamam?
No, I wasn't. No.
I don't understand the whole Riyaz. It's fucking hilarious that you
What do you mean
replied.
hilarious?
I mean, serious and like life changing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That every tweet has
Sorry, please don't
Riyaz
bring me
Khan
into your
picture.
cult.
I think the funniest one by far is like when someone tweeted something serious and I don't know who commented with the Riyaz Khan who clicked a picture with his background,
See them here.
with his phone cover also Riyaz Khan.
Yeah.
Imagine someone tweeting about like, oh, I need help, please give me reach.
Shruthin
I've
will
been
comment,
kicked out of my
Mudesh.
house. No,
No,
I've been
the
kicked
thing
out of
is-
my house. I need money.
I've been kicked out of my house.
And then someone is like, oh wow, banger. Because it'll get so many retweets.
No, it started with like I found his Instagram. That's how it all started. I stumbled upon his Instagram.
Hi.
Isn't he on Big
And-
Boss?
No, Manikuttan is on Big Boss.
Oh yeah, Manikuttan.
Yeah. So who is another person we worship? We will soon return to him. But then again, no, Riyaz Khan.
Why did you say Manikuttan? I don't understand. Wait, why did you? To me, it just sounded like you brought up someone else.
Manikuttan is that guy like who was Shruthin's
Wait.
background just before this.
Yeah, wait, I'll show you.
Wait,
Manikuttan.
what?
It's super easy to show you. Wait.
Stop it, you
is that
high-tech
Joaquin
snob.
Phoenix? Is
Who
that
do you
Joaquin?
think?
Yes.
This is Manikuttan.
Oh
Have
shit!
you seen the video?
No, I haven't, dude.
Just send him the link. No, here's the thing. Unironically, let me just say some stuff. Nivin Pauly has played Kayangalam Kuchunni and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Manikuttan is the best Kayangalam Kuchunni of all time. Unironically, I'm saying, if you ask me who Kayangalam Kuchunni is, it's fucking Manikuttan. Okay. Second of all, I sat through Mamangam. Has anybody watched Mamangam?
Yeah, I watched
Shruthin has.
Mamangam.
Yeah, and he can vouch for me. Manikuttan is the only good thing about that fucking movie.
Like,
You're being unironic.
no,
You're not kidding.
I'm unironically
like,
saying.
Manikuttan
Serious,
is
for
the only
serious.
person trying. Everyone else, no one gives a fuck. Manikuttan is like trying to act.
Mammootty is
like,
flying and all that shit. And it's like, what is happening?
In the I forgot the film's name, dude. The new Dulquer Salman film.
Kurpa.
Yeah, Kurpa. Yeah. In the end, dude, when he's smoking, right, and he looks at the camera, he looks like Mammootty, dude, so much. He looks so much like
Man.
Mammootty.
I think it's
Yes.
it's the
Dude,
beard.
did you know he's like Mammootty's son?
His
you
son.
know?
Yeah. Wait, what? No
What's
way.
up, dude? Why is his last name not Mammootty? Why is his name? Why is it
Dulquer
Salman?
Salman.
Dulquer Salman Mammootty.
Needed it. 10 out of 10. Biology you didn't take no by mistake. But okay, wait.
But he is related to Makbul Salman.
Yeah, like.
Makbul
It's-
Salman is
it's-
the
Pedigree right there.
protagonist of Origorium Padam.
No,
Oh,
it's a
right.
sad thing. Yeah. No, as I mentioned before in a podcast, again, I hate the fact that Dulquer Salman isn't following Makbul Salman on Instagram. This is the issue that we should talk about. This is an issue that we must address. Like,
Yeah,
why?
forget
His family.
Forget like the election. This is what we need
What
to talk
election?
What
about. Yeah,
election?
Who gives a shit?
What election?
Did you know that Makbul Salman doesn't follow Dulquer Salman?
No, Dulquer
Sorry,
Salman
the other way
doesn't
around.
follow Makbul
Political
Salman
system.
on Instagram.
It's
Get your
jealousy.
facts right,
Stability.
buddy.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah. Who
Wait,
cares about the
Adve.
crashing economy?
What do you think of Cherry?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
shit, yeah.
I
Everyone just got
Completely
from
forgot.
Dulquer Salman to Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They are
I
kind of
think-
similar.
Yeah, it's fine. All the actors are
They
children.
could play. Imagine
See,
Dulquer
it's
Salman playing
fine.
Spider-Man.
He gave it a 3 out of 10. What
Yeah,
are you
wow.
talking?
3 out of 10? 3 out of 5?
3 out of
What?
10.
He gave it
3
a,
out of 10.
Oh,
no, Advi gave 3 out of 5 for Cherry.
Yeah,
and 3 out of
Taste
10
of-
for Taste of Cherry.
Yeah.
3 out of 10 for Taste of Cherry? Wait, that's like 1.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
They really needs to. No, but Only God Forgives is definitely a fighter.
Oh yeah.
No,
Dude,
man,
have you seen this movie called Drive? Oh man, it's like
Drive 2011. Are you talking about that?
driving, right? He's
Oh,
driving.
Drive 2011 by Nicholas Winding Refn,
Yeah, the
starring
one
Ryan
starring
Gosling.
Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds.
Oh shit! I
Yeah,
was talking about Drive starring I think Sushant Singh Rajput.
Right.
bro, we don't talk
Jack
about that.
Isn't that the drive y'all are talking about?
Cyril's crying
Taxi
already.
Driver, Travis Bickle,
No, suddenly imagine the Zoom Travis Scott.
Travis
Imagine
Bickle?
the Zoom call
The person who
Taxi
by
Driver with
SSR.
Travis Scott.
right.
No, imagine. No, I mentioned Sushant Singh Rajput. Imagine the next second the
Right.
Zoom call is interrupted by SSR.
Yeah,
people.
a guy called like
They're on a whole different
Sukumjit
trip, bro.
just joins the meeting.
when the whole justice for
No.
Sushant Singh thing happened,
Uh-huh.
like this guy was like hashtag we miss like you as in you, and then we miss you SSR. So we hashtag we miss you SSR.
No,
Accidentally
whole other
left.
trip because like on Twitter, these motherfuckers have the AVIs like half part is Sushant Singh Rajput, half part is Sri Ram, like Lord Ram. I've seen those pictures. These people are like JSSR, fuck Nepo
It's
kids. Like
it's such
Alia
a
Bhatt can
shame because like this
suck
guy,
it.
like regardless of the
metaphor,
fact that if
Ren.
he's like a good actor or not, like the way he like passed away is very unfortunate, and
Oh yeah.
it
Yeah.
always sucks. And he's being like treated as if this like some bullshit holy actor or something, and that too
It's the
only
thing.
after his death.
He's
It's like,
unnecessary, dude. We should like we should mourn his death. No one, literally no one cares. The fact that Dil Bechara came out at that time was weird because like also like people judging the film as a film. There's a point where your opinion matters. There's a time where your opinion matters, but it's not right now, dude. If you
Wasn't it in the IMDb top 10 or something at one
It
point
was
of
at
time?
number 1, dude. It was
Dil Bechara.
9.8
No,
at one point.
people were definitely this thing. I'm talking about the people who started like judging the film as a film during like when everyone's emotions were so elevated. Like I couldn't care less. I honestly couldn't care less if you think that he's a bad actor. The fact that he passed away like that, and the you know what like compels a man to even do something like that. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's something that
Yeah.
it's so vast and something you wouldn't even want to think about, right? And
Yeah.
like I don't know, dude. You need to have some sort of empathy. And my friend, with the whole thing unnecessarily, it got politicized, and that's a little too distant for me to even like. I
Not
don't
as
know.
politicized. The name,
It's
it is sad
the-
that the second that we talk about Sushant Singh Rajput at this point of time, we are seeing the first thing that comes to our mind is these hordes of people who have
It's like,
not just politicized, trivialized his death. I
like-
think that's the most disgusting part of it.
What
It's been
happened
trivialized.
was, like what happened was, it was like a really good chance to for people to actually understand mental illnesses and how all that works, and it just became
They
this
took
whole
a full 180
martyr.
on it.
Yeah, it's just
Exactly.
like it was. Everyone thought this was people are gonna finally realize how important this is, and it just became this whole. He's a martyr. He was like killed by his girlfriend, and like the first person who started this whole thing was Kangana. I remember this. Like 2 days after his death, Kangana came out with this like fucking 10-page document,
Yeah.
and he's just talking about nepotism. And I remember people sharing it because it was like at that time everyone was like very highly emotional because of this, and people just like took that as
At face
fact and
value.
like and Kangana just capitalized on it, and everyone ran with it, and it just became like this huge chance. Like people weren't even able to acknowledge mental illnesses. It just became a murder, and that people believe that
Yeah,
so
and
hard. Like no one wants to acknowledge it. No one wants to
And
acknowledge
after a
that it
point
was
of time, the inherent misogyny just started coming out.
against the
Like just fucking want to blame this woman for I don't
everything.
even know, man. Like another totally like let's just take it on the other side as well. If we're talking about how the media was covering the whole Bollywood quote unquote drug escapade, like as if no male actor smokes weed in the country. As
Exactly.
in no male actor. Just Deepika, Rakul Preet and Riya Chakrabarti smokes weed in this country.
I
That's it. What the
I remember
fuck?
this. I remember like seeing some Instagram posts that were talking about how this woman who had died, like quite similarly, like committed suicide, and there were like established proof that like that her significant other, like that her boyfriend or husband had like a hand in it. Nothing happened to it. He like walked
Yeah,
away.
I know
No
what you're
news.
talking
No
about. Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah, and it was
yeah.
just it's like the kind of it was just so disgusting to watch all of this like way it unfolded, and after a point you just didn't care anymore,
And
like
that guy is like you're talking about the star kid actor, right? That guy got like
yeah.
launched by for a movie and everything. And yeah, it's
The
just
thing is,
disgusting.
like, inherently, like, even we are hypocrites, because the
Hmm.
fact that the thing is, obviously you said that he's very trivialized, right? And the
Yeah,
fact that
yeah.
we are talking about Sushant Singh Rajput at this light, even after what all he went through, he does not deserve this, right?
He
But the
does not
thing is,
deserve this. Sorry.
we came to this realization after talking about him in that sense. we
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we were like trivializing, and then we're like, okay, wait, what are we doing? We need to.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the thing is, not everyone has that. I wouldn't say mental capacity, because that's a little too demeaning, but you need to have that morale, like that sense of
Yeah, I'm
morale, to
not even when I
come
was
to
saying it,
terms.
I can never talk about the man's see, like the thing is again, despite whatever, however we consider or how we judge his acting capacity, the thing that I respect about the most about him is it is very difficult to walk into such an industry and carve out a niche for himself. He did do that. He did get a spot. He did have a place in the industry. He did work in the K serial circuit, and he did come in and he did it on his own terms, whatever it might be. I respect the actor and I respect the craft that he does and everything. What I am joking about, or what I find extremely hilarious at this point of time, is this group of people who are using this man's image. They are using. They see, these are the same people who did not go to watch his movies when it came out, and they chose to watch the movies of the actors that they are calling nepo kids right now. Those actors are the people who are getting 100 crore and 200 crore opening weekends, right? Those are the actors who are getting it, not Sushant Singh Rajput. That's the thing. So if they like, and he did come out with some compelling cinema in his time. You can't say all of it were duds. There were some good indie movies right there. You know what I mean? But none of these people, the people who are using him as his big thing, which is even funnier. When Kedarnath, I think his movie came out, the BJP people in a particular state, I think it's UP or something, or one of those northern states, they, due to some political issue, they were like, we cannot release this movie here. These are the same people who are using his image with the half of it as Lord Sri Ram, and putting it as deep as AVIs on Twitter, and going on fucking going and talking about like lynching people and shit on Twitter. Like, what is, I don't get it. That's what I'm making fun of, because these people are so, you know what's even funny, like you can see these people everywhere. It's after a point, it's just hilarious. It's just becoming like, if you go to like Coffee with Karan like videos on YouTube, if you go in and you'll see that he asks this question usually in the rapid fire to actors. Well, who do you think is the best actor in of the new generation? Like, lists a couple of actors and asks them to rank something. Somebody said some other actors named Bhavan, and under that it will be like, oh, he likes a nepo kid better. Then the next video comes in, Saif Ali Khan or something said Sushant Singh Rajput's name first, and they're like, see, Saif Ali Khan knew Sushant Singh Rajput's potential, like that's why he said it. Saif Ali Khan the best. I'm like,
Why do you want to? It's how opinions work, dude. The thing is, see, it's become more of a concept and an idea when you say his name now. When you say like Sushant Singh Rajput, it's like a whole thing. It's not a
yeah,
person anymore. It's a concept, and it's a movement almost, which isn't like a good thing. It's a person.
it's not,
After all, it's just one entity, like one person. But
It's
the thing
like
is, yeah, go ahead, go
after
ahead.
the whole thing, like because someone like a film star committing suicide, as a whole thing, it's very what's the word, like world view breaking in a way, because you
yeah,
don't expect that to happen. And when I think that, I feel like this is unfounded, there's no proof for this, I didn't like do any study, but generally this is what I felt like, because when people jumped on this bandwagon and started saying was murder, it was a conspiracy, all that, it's like in a way they're trying to protect themselves from like coming to terms with the fact that mental illness is a thing, and that it can affect them, that it can affect, if it can affect Sushant Singh Rajput, it can totally affect them. And it's that sort of way of like trying to protect themselves in a way, and they just latch
yeah.
onto it,
They'd
and it
much
just
rather believe
became.
in that than this. Is what you're
Yes.
And
saying.
it's true for a lot of people, for a lot of things. People just don't want their worldview to, they just want to be comfortable where they are.
Yeah, they're
Just
living in denial, dude. They just, I mean, it's so weird. It's this kind of denial that's harmful to everyone around them. It's not
yeah,
just
it
you. I
is.
mean, cool, you do what you want with your life, dude. But when it starts to spread and starts to plague others' opinions, that's when you're being an asshole. Like
Yeah,
being like in an other country, right? And when we heard about all this, we aren't as involved, but we can see this from a more objective point of view. And
hmm.
the fact that in a country of 1.3 billion people, so many people are so dumb, it it's it's
Yeah.
so I don't know, dude. It's a little disappointing to even come to. I mean, like speaking of them as audience, speaking of them as people, you I don't know, dude. Some people are really so dumb. They're so stupid. Can you read the room? Can you see how things are working out right now? Do you know how emotions are elevated? Do we really need a 10-page thesis right now? We're we're all like really we're okay. Even if you're not mourning his death, we definitely
Hmm.
have like opinions, right? And
To
these
respect it
opinions
at least. Yeah.
exactly. You do
Yeah.
we really need a 10-page thesis, Kangna Ranaut? Did we? We
Yeah.
don't. That's I mean we don't need we why can't everyone just I don't know, dude, just chill. You keep your opinions to yourself unless they really 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 matter.
And also talking about Kangana, I do feel like see, she kind of too. The most disgusting part is okay, and I have seen this happen with another. Uh, but I'm just gonna say a person, and I know this person like IRL. I know this person ain't gonna watch this, so the thing is, this person, this is sort of the thing that Kangana did. What this person did was when Sushant Singh Rajput passed away, a lot of people started putting up stories saying, if anybody wants someone to talk to or
Oh
vent,
yeah.
I'm always here. That thing. So she put up a whole a Facebook status saying Sushant Singh Rajput passed away recently, and this is the thing. You never know mental health, all that stuff, right? And then she started turning it around and started making it about herself, and how the same people who put these stories have, acted against her, and how dare they do that and do this? Do you have and I'm like, you are using another person, and not a person
Fucking
literally
disgusting.
passed away.
Oh,
Pa-
yuck. Why would you
And
do
I'm
that?
like, that's sort of the thing that Kangana was doing. Kangana has had issues with a lot of people and everything. True, right? But she was using this person's death to talk about a lot of, like, to put herself into a prime position and just air out her shit, which is dis fucking gusting. I don't even know, man.
Blows my mind, dude. Dude, again,
Yeah,
there's a time to put. I'm totally with, dude. There was this point when we all spoke of Kangana, like such Kangana Ranaut, and like we were all like very
yeah,
proud that,
yeah,
oh wow, cool, dude. She's speaking for herself. That's so fantastic. I'm so proud of her. But then
yeah.
there's also a point when, it passes that barrier of the idea of feminism, which obviously we are all for, but
Hmm.
the fact that an opinion is dumb regardless of whether it comes from a man or woman. It's
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
dumb,
Like
it's dumb.
Kangana just assumes that like since it's weird like she a rebuttal to every stupid thing she says is that like I'm a woman, how can you say this, that kind of shit. That's what she says, and she says whew, she says she has a lot of racy takes on a
Oh fuck
lot.
yeah,
She
dude.
has takes on everything. She has
And it's
to
so
have a take
obvious she
on
doesn't know
everything,
enough to give those takes. It's so obvious.
and
It's
like
like you're shitting
you
yourself.
can you
Stop.
can have a more informed opinion by just googling, and like which isn't even the best way to like learn about things, but like you can just google and have a better opinion than what
Exactly.
Kangana
Yeah.
puts out. And it's just you'll see after a point you just see that she's just trying to capitalize on it and like just trying to
Yeah.
Exactly.
get that audience on her
I'm
side.
pretty sure Rihanna doesn't even know who Kangana
I
Ranaut
know,
is,
right?
and I
Yeah,
don't think she cares. I
she just wants the like she kind of understood what her really supportive, like if she like starts going for that right wing shit, like all the sangis are gonna flock to her and like support her whenever wherever. That's and like the whole
yeah,
media is like
Exactly.
pretty much right
Exactly.
wing, everything she can have it her way, and it's
There are way too
clever in a
many.
way.
No,
Props to
that's
her for
what.
that, I guess.
It's so smart how she's capitalizing on all these dumb people. They're like, okay, you're dumb. You're part of my clan now, and
And
it's so
I,
weird, dude.
I
It's so odd. How do you not
it's
like?
like it's not uh, it's like the thing is like our whole society is again set up
society.
in
Yeah.
such a way that it's like it's kind of, I mean in general the way normally like capitalist society works, and on top of that the whole the superstructure here, like caste system, all of that is very, it promotes all of these like non-thinking, all that kind of things.
Mhm.
Like if you're like a lower caste, you don't get to think, you're not that clever, all of that, those things. It's really weird, like, and on like you grow up with all of this, and you don't want to have anything in your world shattered, because it's like your life is already miserable. And like imagine having your worldview shattered when you life is shit. Like what does that do? Like it's like when you, if you're like a really religious person and your life sucks ass, and someone ends up proving to you that God doesn't exist, you just fucking break. You can't
Yeah.
handle that kind of shit. And it's pretty sad. It's really sad to see
Exactly.
this happen, and it's just how our country has become, I guess. Has been for the most part, but yeah,
Has been.
where we're going,
I
where
don't. Where
we
we're
will be,
going is
all of that.
very weird, dude.
It's
Very,
very
very
bad.
weird. It's clear that our population isn't our biggest strength, but I don't know, dude. I mean,
It's
even
not.
like
It's not. Yeah.
even asking these questions, see this bringing it back like complete 360, right? Is that when we start asking these questions and putting it forward to the general publics, we just need to spoon feed this information to them. And how we can put this information out is through art, and art doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be so literal, and people don't
Hmm.
realize that yet. And I don't know how to sum that up other than just like calling you dumb. Please think a little. It doesn't always have to be houseful too. You can go and watch a movie that means something from time to time. I don't know, dude. I feel like that's the state of like the Indian audience and the Indian public in general are so like intertwined, and you can find so many parallels with something so small and so large at the same time. It's weird and it's odd, and it's a little depressing to even think about, to be honest. I don't know. It's what I think of it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
don't you think like an artist has a responsibility
Oh
to
shit,
be?
Cyril's here. Dude,
Yeah, oh, I really thought it was the
oh my
background
god. Cyril, your
that
cam.
was Cyril.
Are you
Lost
active?
it.
Cyril, you're not
Have you?
visible.
Do you know that your camera is off, or have you this thing?
I know I've turned it
All
off.
right. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So like, don't you think like an artist has like some sort of responsibility? Like, I recently had a conversation with my brother, and he was like,
Uh,
well, like when
is
you
this
even
volume a bit too low? Is it, or is it just me? I can't
I think
Did
his
you
really hear.
volume
change
is
the
a little
mic?
too low.
Can you
What
just
about
hold the
now?
mic closer, bro? Yeah,
What
I
about
think it's
now?
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
The
right.
bed's
That's right.
better.
What about now?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's fine.
Right. Yeah. So, like recently, I had a conversation with my brother, and like he's like, even if you're making art that you need to think about, there should be an there should be something that needs to invite you in. Like, okay, so imagine if Varun enjoys like high art movies. Not high art, I wouldn't say that word. Just saying like movies that you need to think about a lot in order to understand them. And I'm just a guy who's in for Transformers too. But then, like, if I'm watching something like Varun enjoys, don't you think the artist has some sort of responsibility to invite me in, so I feel a bit of interest to explore that idea more? Like, I don't think anyone who watches like things like Transformers 2 is a great movie would like skip to like watching select a key and like understand anything or try to understand anything, because they're not familiar with it. They're not like, even as Shruthin said, up till like 2 years ago, all of us, like most of us, were
Ah,
watching like mainstream movies, right? So
Yeah.
imagine you just straight up went to like, I don't know, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like, how are you like? There are these small steps that you take, and not just that. Like, you as an artist, don't you think you have to like invite these audience in, or give a purpose for them to like explore more? Because as I said, when I watched Inherent Voice for the first time, I was like, yeah, sure, cool, I really liked it. Second time, yeah, I mean, I liked it more. But the third time, I like it the movie expanded more than the limits of the film, more than the 2.5 hour runtime. The movie like kept persisting in my mind, and that's because it gave me something to explore, gave me something to think about, it gave me something to as a purpose, you know like. So i- isn't that also important,
No, I feel
rather
like
than
it's
just
more subjective than that. Wait, were you done? I'm sorry. I think I cut you off.
no, no, I'm done now.
See, I think it's subjective, right? I'm talking about like the filmmaker, subjective to the filmmaker. In the sense that do you want to invite an audience, or are you catering to an audience that's already acquired this taste? Because I know for a fact that I mean, speaking of Inherent Vice, I don't think that's a very inviting film. I feel like that's more of a person who watches such kind of films, because again, taking the
Oh no,
Inherent
it is.
Vice, I don't
Like,
think Inherent Vice is a quite accessible film either.
I know, but
yeah,
then
no, it's
the
not.
fact
Yeah.
that
Not
like,
really.
no, I just use it as a part of my example, how that
Yeah,
film
yeah, yeah,
gave
yeah, I got it,
me
got
an
I
incentive to
I
watch it
feel
again
like
or to think about it again.
yeah, I feel like um, the idea or the concept of you inviting an audience is really up to you, dude. Because obviously there are transitory films, right, that help you transition from one genre into another. That's like, okay, if you want to get into art house films, maybe certain films that are a little light on the art house side. But I feel like films end up being like that. It really depends on the story that you want to tell, because and how you want to tell it. Because it doesn't even necessarily need to be a story, because like most of like art house films don't really have a story. They have a
Hmm.
structure of events that take place, and
Yeah.
sure, you could call that a story if you want, but it's something that you need to get into. And I think it's like the apex of acquired taste and the concept of acquired taste in general. If your film is inviting, it's inviting. If it's not, it's not. I don't think you can um
Yeah,
you
but that also like, and when you talk about acquired taste, that is the there's a different, like, what I'm saying, there's a difference between like being saying something, like being artsy, or just being artsy for the sake of it. Like, Cherry,
Mhm.
I'm 100% sure it's being artsy for the sake of it.
it's not an
You know,
artsy it's not
it is
artsy. I don't
trying
think
to
it's
be
an
artsy.
artsy.
It is
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
trying
again
It's
to.
wannabe
trying.
A24
It's a
movie.
It's
wannabe.
It's
trying to
All
be
it
It's
is.
that
wannabe.
thing
With
that,
the
yeah.
fucking aspect ratio and all that fucking
Mhm.
crap.
They
With the
changed the
weird
aspect
camera
ratio in the
lens.
middle, and I like.
Yeah, it's not even like the
Such
normal
a
aspect
bad
ratio to
movie.
inside the screen. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Just
like
expand it. Do you not know how to use your editing platform? Fucking buffoon. Stop
It
like
irritating
was.
me.
Like,
I,
is
it,
everyone wait, sorry, Varun, you continue.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead. You've spoken like
Like
3 times.
uh, Everyone here, like you're all familiar with Gaspar Noé and Lars von Trier, right?
Right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And now these guys' films are very pushing, like they're full of violence, sorry. And it gives a reaction to the audience, it allows them to react. They've even said this in interviews. They want the audience to react. But like, as Cyril said, you being artsy just for the sake of being artsy. That's basically what these directors, for example, Gaspar Noé and Lars von Trier do. They do it just for the reaction, even though it has so much potential to get the audience to look. Like if you're in the theater and there's some guy on your phone and then suddenly blinking lights just start coming, he's going to pay attention. But then Gaspanov will they get ahead of themselves. They're so egotistical that they want so much of the style, like, bro, look at me, I'm making you react, I'm making you sick. But it's to no end at all. Like Ingmar Bergman, like in his
Yeah.
final years before his death, he even said in an article that Lars von Trier is one of the best Swedish filmmakers working today, and even he doesn't know it yet. And we're here 20 years later, and he still doesn't know what a genius he is. Like
I feel like,
Antichrist,
yeah, I feel like Antichrist was his
yeah,
peak.
yeah, his first two acts are brilliant.
It's,
They're so brilliant. And then in the third act, when the violence comes in,
yeah,
it just makes you look away. Like, I
yeah.
get what you're going for, bro, but I don't want to see a penis squirt blood, man. Where does that go in your in your movie? You're just getting out of your own way. You're
And also,
building
you're
up to
like,
something.
no, it's how do you conceptualize something like whenever I watch not just when we're talking about like last one, like uh, I don't know how he conceptualizes a lot of things. Like how most of his stuff, is something that you get off out of something. Like if you're reading a manga or if you're reading a graphic novel, you do get a lot of the imagery that he does go for. Like for the what I means for the shock factor that he's
Yeah.
going for. That's what I. So while I'm
Yeah,
watching
it's
his movies,
very
I
common to
always
manga,
yeah,
the
it's very
attention
common
grabbing
manga. Yeah.
shock factor.
Yeah, especially if you're reading, like, again, I quote Berserk quite a lot, but like a lot, like full page panels would be there of just gore of this grotesque monster having sex with a woman and all that kind of shit would be there, and it's so intricate and it's a full blown fucking panel because yeah, you're not going anywhere, fam. You're reading this. Kentaro Miura
You're
is
gonna
telling you,
look at that.
you're gonna look
Yeah,
at that.
this guy spends like 4 months drawing this, like drawing a horse
Drawing
cock.
this shit. Yeah, that's the thing. So I get that. That's why he's doing this. But how does last one, like, how does he conceptualize it? How does he put in, okay, within the screenplay, like this is how the movie is flown, right? It's just I don't fucking get how he does that at times, because every time when you're writing a scene, this is the basic that I heard always. Know why you're writing the scene.
Yeah.
That's the fucking basis. Just don't write a scene for the sake of writing a scene. At times,
Oh.
even in Berserk, such shots or such panels, those are there for the sake of just getting our attention. At times, for real, it is just there for that. But when he does it, I don't think that's the case. It has its place in the whole conception of the movie, and how he manages to pull it off so, like, within the flow, without breaking our own stream of conscience while we're watching the movie. Do you
Yeah.
get
Within
what I mean?
rhythm.
Yeah. We all would have a sort of like tra- external train of thought that's going.
Subconsciously, you have
Subconsciously, we all have.
Yeah,
certain
without
plane
Yeah,
within
breaking our
yourself.
immersion, without breaking
without
the
Exactly.
breaking
That's
our
immersion.
what.
immersion. Exactly. How do you do that? That's the fucking thing that you need to comment.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what. I love the man. That's essentially that's
Oh,
what
the
I'm
Wait,
thing
saying.
is,
but
I feel like
I have a
Gasper. Yeah, go ahead.
question. Uh, Finish your point. I'll ask.
No, that's a very long point. You should go ahead.
Yeah. So like, how many of you have seen Reversible?
I
Irreversible.
have
Yeah.
not.
So only Adu has seen it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
So
guessing.
like in that, there's like this 32-minute rape scene, right?
Yeah, 11 minute.
It's
Not
only 11
32
minutes.
minutes.
Oh,
Not 30. 32
yeah. So
minutes.
like when you talk about, I haven't seen it. I have this weird dilemma with I know it's weird because it sounds wrong, but still, the reason why I'm not specifically wanting to watch Reversible, regardless of the fact that Gaspar Noé might be like, against the, whole rape situation. Like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that someone who made something like that hasn't gone through something like that, as in someone who hasn't gone through something like that made a 32-minute rape scene, like, for a shock factor. I just don't
Yeah,
get that.
like
It's
there's a
very
wait, sorry.
confusing to me. Yeah,
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 there's an interview in the film where like I was looking through reviews of like Irreversible, and they
Mm-hmm.
talk about the themes of like this underground of anger and love and how closely they're related to each other, and that's how the audience perceives it. But then I go and watch an interview with Gaspar Noé, and he specifically stated, "I did it just because I wanted to show the audience that not everything is happy. Things like this happen."
Oh,
Like he did it just so,
Mm-hmm.
like,
wow.
and like the
That
whole
is
film,
fucked up.
like
That
I don't
is
want
fucked up.
like
That is fucked up.
like there's a scene. I'm not spoiling the movie. Basically, the whole movie is like a shaky cam kind of thing, but only
Yeah.
this scene is straight.
Is
It's straight up.
oh god.
Like it's a static camera. Now,
Fuck, fuck,
before I
fuck.
read that interview, I liked how the scene was. I like what he's going for, but after he said that, it's like okay, all
Yeah,
right.
no.
This
Oh
is
god.
why I
yeah.
always try
Like
to keep my films as films. I don't try to make it into this whole social thing. That's one of the reasons I love film. It makes me escape. I
yeah,
don't try to,
but the
especially
thing
with people
is,
like
like,
Gaspar Noah. I don't want to know
No,
why he did this
this is
scene.
me realizing the context. Oh fuck.
Dude,
Dude,
That's
that's
yeah,
the
like,
like,
thing.
even with like Gas for Noé, right? If, like, I don't
oh
mind
fuck.
if this was directed by a woman who has gone through something like this and shows how intense it is, how disturbing it is. But the fact that this guy, like, what, 50-year-old man who just did it because he wanted to show not everything is happy, it doesn't sit well with me. Maybe the movie is wrong. Maybe the movie is like very effective in what it's showing. I still haven't seen it. It's just that, like, it's a dumb thing to say, but still, it doesn't sit right with me.
No, I
Yeah, that
feel like
depends.
Gaspar Noé films, right? They work on a very primal level. Now, obviously, I haven't seen Irreversible, and that shit that he said is really like disturbing, right? But I don't know, dude. It brings up this question, even like on a very surface level or something. That how far are you willing to go to separate the art from the artist? Because what you said about Gaspar Noé even applies to someone like Quentin Tarantino, would even apply to
Oh
someone
yeah,
like
yeah, totally, yeah.
Jokes
oh
about
But
yeah,
then,
Polanski.
but then
oh yeah,
the
the
difference is like,
exorbitant use of the N word. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That's kind of,
I mean,
oh,
there
no,
again,
but then,
it's yeah,
like,
yeah, go ahead.
the disturbing thing isn't in the art when it comes to Tarantino, or like, someone like, who
Sure,
else, like
but again,
Polanski
if
maybe,
we're
like,
treating the film as a film, then we're only worried about what's happening inside the film. Now, whatever happens outside film, that's in your head, right? That's how you're treating. That's how you're. See, our brain works with context, right? And the fact that now that you know Gaspar Noé
No, yeah.
stands on this,
yeah,
and you know
like
what he thinks of it, you
our
cannot watch
relationship,
exactly,
our
exactly.
I
relationship to the
can't. Like
film,
that's the thing. I can
like
speak for
the
myself.
author
I'm just fucked
contributes
up
to
right
it,
now.
right? Like, wait, like this is the whole argument for like the death of the author. Like that point in time when the idea of death of the author was introduced, it was like you can, like, the reader, or like, the audience has complete control over the way the movie is seen or the way the movie is interpreted. But like the best example of like how death of the author is not universally applicable is J.K. Rowling, right? Like J.K. Rowling has such an incredible presence, and like there are a lot of filmmakers who have like insane amount of presence that, like, if Like Tarkovsky is a good example for me personally, because just knowing that a film is made by Tarkovsky makes me think it's going to be good already. Like I already have that like 30% of I've already accepted that this movie is probably going to be good. If I if I like don't think it's good, it's just me not understanding it well enough. That's how I go into that movie, because like my relationship to the movie is already affected, and it's like unless you like don't know anything about the director, then like that film stays as a film. But like
Yeah.
once you start like interacting and like understanding things, or like even the actors like who worked on it, it just becomes completely different every time your perception starts
Yeah.
changing, and it's like it's always in flux, and you
Exactly.
can't really.
It's
It's so
called.
it's so
It's in.
incredibly inconsistent, and it's so beautifully
Yeah.
inconsistent, I would say, because what you said, like the according to what we're talking about right now, we'd say that the most ideal way to go and watch a film is to know nothing about anything and just watch the film, right?
Yeah,
But
that's called in like, again, I'm gonna like use my literature degree right now, where John Crow Ransom coined this term called new criticism. And new criticism was hailed as like this postmodernist it was a modernist postmodern. I think it's more modernist, I might be wrong. So in the mid 20th century, this thing came up, and it was the most widely accepted form of criticism of literature in America for a while, because it followed this formalist theory. It was an offshoot of offshoot of formalism, where within formalism itself, you look at a work of literature as its own autonomous, self-contained entity. What we're looking at the work is, if we're looking at a poem, we're gonna look at it from its we're going to look at its technique, we're going to look at its rhyme scheme, we're going to look at the literary devices that are used there. The critic in that sense believes that everything that you need to know from the text is within the text itself. And if we are going to have any bias, and if we are going to look into something else, intentional fallacy happens. It's the technical term is called intentional fallacy, where you're kind of, even when you're like trying to figure out the true intention of the author or the creator, fallacy happens. It Because you'll never know for sure unless you go up and ask the person, or if the person decides to say it. You know what I mean? Unless the person decides that, yeah, he's gonna talk about this, you'll never know that that this is what the author meant. And you can have a whole lot of assumption, but it can amount to nothing. It can be your interpretation, more power to you. But then again, it's the same thing. Like you have that bias where, okay, this is going to be even in the most basic of senses, people are going to already assume that a Christopher Nolan movie is going to be quote unquote inaccessible. Right. They're going to go into
It's gonna
that
be
movie.
too high IQ. That's like, yeah.
Yeah. So that meanwhile, I merely think that's like this. To a certain degree, that's kind of a mythos, or this air that has surrounded him for a long time. Because if we're looking at it, it's not that inaccessible, because Christopher Nolan is a very expository director who does provide everything that you need to know within the movie itself, and you just need to pay attention to it. Not that it's great or anything, but it is what it is. It is how he makes movies.
Oh, yeah.
So but that's where the intentional fallacy comes in. Not the fallacy, that bias for the author, that bias for the creator comes in. We are like going in and you're like, but that's misleading you. That's misleading you from actually experiencing the movie, that self-contained entity which has all the answers that you want, that you seek.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
dude,
like,
that's what it's so, dude. Like when we're talking
there's
about
no
when we're talking
like,
about
yes,
don't have any context and going into a film, right? Would you do that for like a Jim Jarmusch film? Would you want no context? You'd like to know that, okay, this is directed by Jim Jarmusch, and then you watch the film. You're like, oh, no wonder it's like this. It's weird and wonky and funky, right?
Yeah.
there's no, it's not the concept of like the movie existing in a different reality and like not in the real world. That's what it feels like, right? Like the no, like you're just experiencing it just by that. That's what it feels like. But and it's like not grounded in material. You can never not have any bias or any like context, even like the
Yeah.
smallest things, right? Even like
Mm.
because this is something that always shows through, normally it always shows through in movies. It's the writers or like the director's worldview. This is the way they see the world, right? And I see
Yeah. Yeah.
movies, and when they conflict with my worldview, I'm like, it's like a, I'm not really into that. That's what I like.
Mm.
They can, like, the author can do nothing about that. They can't
Mm.
like make sure everyone's worldview is like, not
The
everyone
same.
has the same
You
way,
can't
they
please
see the world the
everyone.
same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't really just like remove the author and the
No, you
I
can't.
guess
That's the thing. Because even
it's like
in the
somewhere in the
new
middle. It's like
yeah,
both.
but when new
You
criticism, when I'm talking about the intentional fallacy thing, the
mm,
also the thing is that when we're looking at it, the people who actually propagate or profess like formalism or new criticism, the biggest flaw within that is, apart from this, is the fact that they're also going to ignore the reader or ignore the audience, the reader's interpretation.
Yeah,
That's also ignored. So
exactly.
does that really work is another question, because without the meaning that the reader interprets from this work, does it have any purpose? Does it serve its purpose? Does it serve the purpose that it has been created for? So can you really, you can't really take away all these external factors for the
yeah.
most part, like Shruthin said. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what, there is nothing objective about art. There is no
Mm.
one way of looking at anything in this
Like
world, in fact.
Yeah.
And
like
it's
the whole
You'll understand that when you
sorry,
listen to Angelic to the Core
like
by
the
Corey.
whole isn't the whole point of art to like communicate, right? Is to communicate, and
Mm.
you need to know the language to communicate whatever
Yeah.
it is in. Like you kind of, even if you don't know the language, it'll like you'll understand it differently. Like me watching Inception back when it was released and me watching now, it's completely different. It's going to be really
Yeah.
different because of how I've understood film as a language or whatever, and it's just changed so much. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know what the point I'm trying to make here is. Just
Yeah.
making an observation, I guess. It's
no,
like
the
yeah,
point you're trying to make is that there is no point trying to, because it's so,
Yeah,
it's
there is no point.
even
yeah,
after saying all this, even after making a point, there's going to be someone who's disagreeing with it, right?
Mm.
And
yeah,
that just
exactly.
proves the point even further. The point is that there is no point. The I don't
Yeah,
know, dude.
that's the thing.
It's
Like there is a point and there is no point at the same time. Like that's what it is. It's like
exactly.
two opposite things existing at the same time.
It's
And
so
it's
simple. It's so complicated. That's what makes it so simple. It's like, okay, what's the answer? It's complicated. So what? Move on.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's beautiful. That's, I feel
that's
like
the
the idea of,
funnily enough,
yeah,
that's the
dude,
whole
it's
that's the whole concept
self-satisfaction.
behind Marxism.
The, I
Yeah,
have I am not learned enough to speak on Marxism, but that's
it's just
okay.
yeah, it's a
Lama
very yeah, no.
no,
Yeah,
Lama is like,
I have a weird obsession with turning everything into this, but like this is just yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna explain this. Like the whole
yeah.
point of it, of like this like general thing, like the world working is in this whole thing. It's like it's called dialectics,
Mm.
and the idea of dialectics is like it's like really huge, but like one of the ideas is that it's a union of opposites. So like a really good example is like life and death. Like you are alive and you are dying at the same time.
Yeah.
Like your cells are dying at the same time while new ones are being born. So that's the whole thing. Like so two, like it's like even when you're like trying to learn something,
Mm.
you have no knowledge and there's knowledge. Like when you learn, you have more knowledge, but there's still like a lack of knowledge in you. You can never
Mm.
like reach the pinnacle of knowledge,
Yeah.
because then there's nothing. It's like it's the end of, it's the end. You don't need to do anything more. You're finally there. You're like, it's the, you've achieved perfection, and that's the whole point. You can never like achieve that. That's the thing. That's the point within it. Like it's like a way of, that's how science works, right? Like
Yeah.
you find something and you disprove it. Like it works in one time and then it doesn't work at another time, and you just come up with something new, and like that's, it just goes on like that. So it's like, yeah, simple
Shit,
and it's
dude.
complicated at the same time.
Exactly. That's so beautiful. That's weird,
Yeah,
bro.
I think like there's also like an element of self-awareness to it, because
Mm.
you realize it's like deteriorating at the same time as you're building it. As in, like, there's no point in looking forward to things
Yeah.
when you know it's not gonna be there.
When you
Like,
know the ultimate.
yeah, like I bring this up again. Like in Inherent Vice, the whole point of the film is that, like, no matter how much Thomas Pynchon wants the 60s back, like the hippies thing back, he's never gonna
Yeah.
give it back. It's inherently gone. The
Yeah.
whole age is gone. Inherent Vice is basically just jerking off the whole hippie era of that,
Mm.
like the nostalgia he has for that era.
Right.
And it's beautiful because, like, it's beautiful because he knows, because it's sad. It's beautiful because it's sad, like,
That's also like, I think that applies for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well, but it's a little more on the
exactly.
nose.
Yeah, both movies go super well. That scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where the song Out of Time starts playing, and it says like, this is the
Oh,
last day Rick and, oh,
baby. Shit, that
uh,
scene, that
oh,
needle
that scene
drop.
every day.
Dude, that's the thing.
The,
Sometimes,
Santano reference.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But that's what Fantano's, even he didn't know that, you know. So when it when a song plays in film, it's called a needle drop. So, and he didn't know that, so he just like he just named himself the needle
When
drop.
a song plays, what?
Like the
When a s
vinyl
Yeah, exactly. When a song
vinyl
plays in a
player.
film, right, it's called a needle drop.
A needle drop. Oh,
Yeah,
damn. I didn't know that.
but
yeah. Anyways, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's like that whole montage. It feels triumphant because, like, Rick is all like, coming back to being a big star, but at the same time, like in real life, the end of the 60s is coming, and
Yeah.
yeah.
it's so bittersweet and heartbreaking when you hear that song and see those like
See, I'm just gonna
iconic
repeat
hits.
what like Red Letter Media. I don't know if you watch Red Letter Media, but
Oh yeah, I know it.
do you?
I
Yeah,
know
No,
them. I
no.
haven't
often. Like
seen the Once
I
Upon
haven't
a
seen
Time
like
in
a
Hollywood.
lot of their videos. Like their videos like 46 minutes,
Oh, they're
and
Yeah,
brilliant.
they're like
sometimes I just,
podcasts though.
They're
it's like a
fantastic.
podcast, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're
they're
so
podcasts.
funny, and then they're like at the same time, when you think about what they're saying, it makes so much sense. They're so learned, it's so obvious. But what they said about this thing is the fact that again, when Rick Dalton was like getting his place back, and you're like, wow, it's triumphant, right? And it's great. But then
Yeah.
again, that completely contradicts itself with what's happening in the real world, because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a film with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio and
Leonardo
Margot
DiCaprio.
Robbie, three of the
Mm.
biggest stars in the fucking world, was second in the box office to The Lion King, a film that you've already seen. Okay, it's the same movie, it's just in 3D now. So that's
Dude, for Lion King realistic, bro? Like, what do you mean?
That was so
Yeah, bro.
I have to say though, that was again, I don't know if people enjoyed how the new Lion King looks, more power to them, but it just
Animal Planet.
no,
see,
no,
Come
no
on.
power to you. No, your
yeah.
opinion. I hate your opinion.
No
Stop
power to
talking.
you.
No, the thing is, like, it's this, there is no emotion. That's the thing. There is
Yeah, they
literally
can't.
no
I'm
emotion.
watching The
How do you
Lion King.
make them emote?
Exactly. I'm watching The Lion King because I know what lions look like. I have National Geographic, fucker. Don't make me watch.
Like I've seen the same thing multiple times on Animal Planet. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they killed someone. Yeah, sure, I saw that. It was actually really interesting to watch too.
I know. Except it's not directed by John Favreau, who directed Iron Man. I don't want to watch.
Elf.
Dude. And
I
Chef.
won't say
And also
blame John
Beyonce.
Favreau. Like Guy Ritchie made Aladdin. Okay, do you really think Guy Ritchie made Aladdin? No,
No,
Disney.
No, but I
made
also know
One
that
Aladdin.
second.
John
Yeah,
Favreau has a has more creative control.
I did not
than-
know Guy Ritchie made Aladdin.
Wow.
Bro,
No
he
one
made
knew
Aladdin.
that.
Didn't know that
No,
either.
even I
Even
found out.
I don't think even Guy Ritchie knew that. He just
He
saw
was
his
just
name.
there. He was just there on set
What
like
is-
one day for the credentials.
Wait, you know Barry Jenkins is making the second
The
part,
new
right?
Lion King.
Yeah.
Dude, dude, I bet
Imagine
he's
the
doing it
Lion
just for
King
the
as
money.
Moonlight.
Dude,
The
that's what
second
we
what?
had this. Dude, you didn't know that? Ren, do you know who Barry Jenkins
Oh
is?
yeah, what?
Yeah, I know who
I've
Barry
heard that.
Jenkins
Yeah,
is.
he's going
What
to
is
make
it?
the new Lion King movie. He's already
Lion King
signed.
2.
I mean, you gotta put
Dude,
food on the
no,
table.
like
So what do you
it's a
do?
good thing.
Yeah.
Like he gets to produce more of Barry Jenkins movies.
Yeah.
Gotta get
Yeah,
And his name
Yeah,
comes
I
up there. Normal people will see, okay, Barry Jenkins, okay, he's making this film. Maybe I
like
watch some other films too. I watch
Yeah,
Moonlight.
exactly. And they watch
And they're
fucking
like,
great
Moonlight.
black men. Ugh, what is that?
imagine going from Lion King to
To
Moonlight.
Yeah, it's like going from music to be murdered
No.
by to T-Pap.
No, it's like no.
Like a butterfly.
Imagine the family though. Imagine like a white suburban conservative family who's like watching. Okay, kids, let's watch the new Lion King. Or they watch it, and the next movie probably on fucking Netflix or something or wherever they're watching it.
They'd probably have
is
the mindset.
Moonlight.
The only like if they're going to have like a double feature of Barry Jenkins films and they're like a white suburban conservative family, the
Next
first
movie,
thing they'd
Moonlight.
want to the thing is, I hope these lions aren't black and gay. And then they watch Moonlight.
Oh shit!
Entire
They
world
accidentally
As
watch
per
Moonlight.
Noah
Where are the
should make
lions?
a Lion King movie.
That's where are the
Just imagine.
lions?
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking. Like, imagine.
since you liked The Lion King 3, you
Imagine,
should check out
imagine
Lion.
Barry Jenkins from Lion King 2
100%
and it's just like
recommended on like
Moonlight.
Netflix.
Yeah, and you look at the ratings and
It's just
everything,
a whole
amazing.
different
Oh,
movie.
Yeah, if
Okay.
lions can talk, why can't Beale Street? Then they'd probably watch if Beale Street could talk. I don't know, dude. It's weird. I mean, we had this conversation when Cyril was on, I think, which was like 5 months ago. But like, I think that he's just going to use this money and produce some big budget fucking art house film.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
going to be like
that's
the
what I.
next 2001.
Oh yeah, you guys were talking about this. That's why I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. Deja vu, dude. Deja vu. I mean, I don't know. Dude.
Society
We found out our
podcast,
one
man.
view where it came from.
Shit, dude. I don't know. I mean, this got weirdly deep, weirdly fast. That was
Yeah, I think this is a great segue into our next film, Zack Snyder's
Snyder Cut.
Justice
Snyder
League.
Cut.
Oh
God.
yeah, man.
I think this
The
episode's
greatest
going to be
segue would
longer
have-
than Snyder Cut.
The greatest segue would have been the part where we were discussing Christianity.
That's true.
Speaking of
Like
Christianity,
Assassins
did you guys
33
watch-
AD,
did you
then
guys
comes
watch
the Snyder
Joker
Cut.
and
Did you watch?
Wait, but
Dude.
before like we actually begin into the discussion, those like, do you guys actually liked? Did you guys like Snyder Cut? Just say yes or no. Like,
we should go
No.
one by one. We should go one by one.
yeah, okay. So
Shruthin.
when?
All right. I thought it was cool.
I enjoyed it. So
You liked
yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Advait.
Advait,
No, not at all.
Ren,
no, I did not like it at all.
Wait, Cyril, what about you?
Okay, yeah, can I say? Sorry, sir.
Yeah,
Just one
yeah.
thing. Okay, I would say no with an asterisk. I have stuff. I have things.
I would
to
say yes
about
with an
no
asterisk.
With an asterisk.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Fair enough.
yeah,
think
same,
was
I
with
guess.
an asterisk,
No with an
Ren.
asterisk.
Everyone has an asterisk.
I need to.
Yeah, it's called a letterbox
explain
review,
why-
Shruthin.
Yeah.
Just with an opinion.
I need to elaborate upon the why I don't like it, because it's not like I can say it's like, okay, I'll let Cyril talk. I'll say why later.
Hope
after
you guys
this, yeah.
don't mind me
Yeah,
standing.
so
No.
I didn't like the Snyder Cut, but before, like, the negatives, I respect Zack Snyder. I respect those
That's
fans
the
who
thing.
believed
That's
in
the
this movie.
asterisk.
Yeah, I respect everything, all the actors for giving a fuck. I respect
Yeah.
I respect Warner Brothers, even though it's just for promoting the streaming service. They let this happen.
Yeah.
Like God bless Zack Snyder's, like, may Zack Snyder's daughter soul rest in peace. No, I don't mean that as a joke. Like,
Amen.
it's
Yeah.
for and it came out as he wanted.
Yeah.
I believe, but the movie is way too long. It's so boring. It's so
It
so
is, yeah.
bleak. The dialogue is bad. The acting is bad. Gal Gadot is a model. She's not an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cinematography. I don't get it why it's in 4. So 3 people. Oh yeah, it looks beautiful. Yeah, sure.
Oh
Why not?
no,
But
I
No,
the
there's a
reason behind it though,
yeah.
it's shot in IMAX.
It's
It's
shot
meant
in
to
I
be
know,
IMAX,
I
but
seen
even
know.
Dunkirk
Yeah.
shot in IMAX.
No, that's a
Yeah,
different.
No,
No, it's not a
it's,
different IMAX.
Christopher
yeah,
Nolan
but
uses the
just
proper
because
IMAX film. They can only shoot
No,
I have
scenes
to.
for so long.
I need. Since Cyril said the thing right there. I need. Can I just explain my
Yeah. Go
asterisk?
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing is, why I said no than asterisk again. There's a lot of things that I respect about the movie. There's quite a lot which I respect about the movie. I do, especially. As we talked about this before as well. The same thing. The director had. It is refreshing to see that the director had a vision, and it's a superhero
yeah.
movie, and it wasn't pure fan service. To a certain degree, there is fan service there, but it wasn't an end game. End game was purely just 2 hours 45 minutes of just build up to this 1 15-minute scene that's about to rock the theater.
yeah.
That was the whole. That was Endgame as a whole. But within Zack Snyder's Justice League, you can see that the guy is trying to. He
He
has a
has a
vision for how it should be. That's something. It's not particularly good, but he's got the right spirit,
Exactly.
I suppose.
He's doing
That's
what a
one thing.
director's supposed to do, right? Have a
like
That's
vision.
supposed to do.
I
Yeah.
I re- like I remember what Saurav said, and I really that's like the best word to describe, and that's like the only part of the movie that I liked.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's why I was like, okay, it's fine. I don't mind. Sure, go
Yeah.
ahead. Like it was indulgent. It was so indulgent, and it was just like I want to do this, and I'm just gonna do this. The writing sucks ass.
The writing is
Jokes
so bad.
fall
That's the thing.
flat. It's
Not just a joke.
so
Like the
bad.
basic. I can't believe how he managed to fuck up such fleshed out characters.
Like, yeah, they're already
How do
like
you fuck up 80 years worth of writing?
Batman and Superman don't even need any character development.
I
They're
think that's more of a
Exactly.
problem with like
Exactly.
Batman was
anyone
Superman.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Batman alone, Batman played the whole. Batman played the whole. First of all, again, how do you fuck? I don't get it. How do you fuck up Batman? Like you have literally have like 80 years worth of content right there, fleshed out material
That's
about the character,
That's
everything
what
you need to
Spider-Man
know about.
Homecoming did, because they never really, they know that this movie we've seen an origin story 5 times.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
audience
They
don't
just
want to
gave
see
you-
another one. They don't want to see Uncle
They
Ben
just-
die again. So you know what I'll do?
Yeah.
I'll just start from in between. If you want
Yeah.
context, watch
was
the
a really
17
good
movies
idea.
that come before.
before. That's the thing. And the thing is, Snyder, the thing again, if he wants to do a different interpretation of these characters, well and good. It's within his artistic right. It is. He can do that. But stay true to the characters that you fucking created. That you created, the characters that you chose, because the Batman that I saw in Batman vs Superman is not the same guy in Zack Snyder in Justice League.
Yeah.
Because again, as I mentioned before, he was fashioned after multiple incarnations of Batman, but the more cruel streak, mean streak Batman from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, the older, wiser, yet with a kill streak. That
Right.
Batman is essentially what Batfleck is based on. He is never ever going to be a character who is going to come out and be like, Faith, Alfred, Faith. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
dude, like, dude, in Batman v Superman, he said this line about Superman. If there's even a 1% chance that he's our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. And in one movie, he goes, Superman, he was hope.
He was
gave
hope?
us, he was hope.
No,
You murdered him, and you're like, he was
Yeah.
hope.
Also,
You
Batfleck,
like you literally
unironically,
were the reason he died. And like
Yeah.
Superman doesn't have a problem with that. Like Martha fixes all of that too. Like you technically killed him.
yeah, no,
Superman
Batfleck
doesn't
was
like,
unironically the best part about BVS.
Oh yeah,
He
he was
was.
my favorite.
Wait.
Like,
he was so good. Yeah, but the thing is, the character who said, "Do you bleed?" went to again, Faith, Alfred,
Faith,
Faith.
Alfred.
I
I'm gonna,
While
hated
getting into a fucking
hated that
plane.
scene.
I'm
He
gonna,
said
I'm
Faith.
gonna, and the writing is like Twilight Wattpad levels of writing.
Anyone recall the scene?
Mouse
Uh,
touch and love with
anyone
the
recall
Wonder
the
Woman and Batman.
Wonder Woman scene? This thing. Can I be you when I grow up? You can be
Oh
anything
God.
you
Oh,
wanna
baby,
be.
dog, broke my heart.
Oh
to
yeah. On
7.
that note, can we talk about the music? Oh my
Oh, the music, dude. Can we talk about the 5 minute scene or the 2 hour scene of Aquaman walking on that wooden ledge at 5 different angles with some old ass music,
And the
removing his
water
10th
looking like
t-shirt?
No,
nutted
the
tissue
music
paper.
doesn't fit. The music doesn't fit anything.
Dude,
It felt like a cheap ripoff of like
Junkie
Ragnarok,
XL
some
is a
Ragnarok scene.
dude, no. The thing is, Junkie XL is such a fucking hack. So Hans Zimmer's compositions are brilliant,
Oh,
right?
the
It's-
Superman score is
Yeah.
fantastic. The
and
Superman
that's
score
what
is
we remember.
Oh yeah.
People were, dude, that's the thing that pissed me off the most. Okay, people talked about the music of the film in good light. They were like, wow, when Superman comes on, that the music, oh my god, that was brilliant, dude. That's
that
not
was Hans
Junkie
Zimmer's
XL.
music.
That's Hans Zimmer's. That's his composition.
Chunky XL did come together, didn't he?
No,
And
no,
Junkie XL, I'm
Junkie
sure
XL.
Junkie XL did like
No, he remixed.
Wonder Woman's music because
Yeah.
that was so corny.
No, the
Oh,
thing
every
is,
time
not
she
like-
came into the
every time
screen,
she
they started
came on
playing that
screen,
fucking girl
every time.
screaming.
Dude, that's the
Are
thing.
you
I
like-
heard it. I got the point. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's wonderful, cool, woman power. But it made me laugh every time.
Yeah.
Bro,
It's like,
Is that what plays in your head when you're fighting people? A
dude,
person
the
yelling.
rock music? You know the rock music they play in the film, like when Batman first meets Flash and he's like, "I'm rich," and they start playing rock music. There's another scene in the film where they have to go into the raft, like where they're saving those people, right? Where Flash saves all those people. Like they're just walking upstairs. They're walking upstairs and they're playing rock music. And they're just walking upstairs. They're not
I
saying
like.
anything.
See, the thing is, I like.
I mean,
like,
I love it when I love it when King Crimson starts playing when I'm like riding
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
escalator.
Oh yeah,
So,
for
yeah,
sure. That's my
totally,
favorite
yeah.
part. That's my favorite
Favorite
part
part
of the day.
That's
When
why I
I'm
go to
riding a-
Lulu, by the way. No, that's why I go to
riding
Lulu.
riding an
Only
escalator,
reason.
and it's like 20% kids.
King Crimson.
21st century
Oh,
schizoid.
No, but that sounds brilliant, dude. I don't know how I took this long to listen to it, but oh my fucking god,
Yeah.
the way I
The
was in
whole
maths,
album. The whole album.
I was in math class, dude, and like it just like fucking blew into my ears, and I'm like, whoa.
I have to thank Kanye for it. I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah, I have to
listened
thank
it
him. Yeah, exactly. It's the
if
sample, right?
I love Kanye.
But
Thank you, Kanye. Very cool.
if you're watching this podcast, Kanye,
You're watching this podcast, Kanye. Sorry about the divorce, fam. Hang in there.
yeah,
Zack
Wait, is he
Snyder, if you're
divorced
watching
already?
this, I love what you're trying to go for, bro. But it
yeah.
just wasn't for
Can
me.
you see how this virtual background?
Yeah,
Look at
like,
the
Dude,
diagram.
he clearly
genuinely,
appreciates
wait,
the
let's talk
post-credit
about this
scene.
shot for a second. Let's talk about this shot, okay?
Which shot?
What the fuck?
The
No,
Jesus
tell
thing?
me what do you want with this? No, the shot after this, after he removes the card, we've been introduced to this guy for 5 whole minutes. Why there's a dialogue in this scene?
It's brilliant.
Exposition. Why did you let her die, Lois Lane? Oh my god, how she
Yeah,
suffered.
dude, exactly. So your entire world has gone to shit, okay? Because Lois Lane
This
died.
is how you
Now
talk.
you're speaking to Batman, which, by the way, he says Batman like 7 times. So remind Batman that he's Batman. Okay?
Yeah,
That
no,
he's indeed
imagine that's
Batman.
the thing.
I mean,
Imagine
at
being
le-
in
like,
like a
they
post-apocalyptic
anticipated
world.
it, right?
No, that
It's
is
a
what
4-hour movie.
every
They
time.
kind of
imagine-
assume people
yeah.
fell asleep.
No,
That's why
that's the thing.
talking.
Whenever he said
Bro,
Batman, it was like
Varun,
Yeah,
Varun,
go
everybody. Like, imagine we're all like we're all in the nightmare scene, right? The world has gone to shit. The world is a post-apocalyptic bullshit. Superman is a totalitarian leader and is a fucking walking nuclear weapon and all that shit. Everything is going wrong, and I'm just the psycho joker, and I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna tell whatever has happened throughout, which all of you are aware of. right now.
In a
Again.
homoerotic
Here-
scene with Batman.
Yeah, here's my
And then
card, bitch.
and then mid scene you will blur out his face just for him to come to the point again to show clearly, oh, it's the Joker. Who was I watching these past 5 minutes?
Also, Adve, I need to ask this. I've talked about this with all the Snyder Cut with all these people before. So I have to ask you this: how did you think the movie looked in general? I personally
Oh,
thought it just looked fake as fuck.
dude, genuinely, like, my friend sent me the file, right? And I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, why does this image look so weird? So I got another file, and it still looks
exactly,
so weird. Like
bro.
the scene with Wonder Woman standing on that
Yeah,
statue, right? The
Yeah.
background is just
yeah,
black. It's just black,
yeah,
Dude,
and
Amber Heard's hair is like blonde. I don't know
it's
what it's
blonde, it's
red.
red, it's
dude, it's
everything.
just not that. Like when you when
Oh,
the
so what's
focus
that?
when focus shifts happen, right? Like the shallow depth of field looks fake.
Dude, I
I
don't.
do.
Oh my fucking. Dude, I don't know. The film was shot. See, first of all, the aspect ratio thing didn't bother people. I find that very hard to believe. You know, however immersive your film was, if you were bothered by the aspect ratio and like, in like the ghost in a ghost story and all that, how did this not bother you? You're talking about a film where like half your screen is empty with black, and you're watching, like, it's not on IMAX. You're probably watching this on your phone, like how David
Phone, yeah.
Lynch wants it. Okay, and and
A
you're
film that
telling,
prides itself on scale,
yeah,
on
a
size.
film that
Yeah.
a film that blew up
And you watch it on
like
this.
2 films ago. You were
IMAX.
talking about Turkish Airlines
Batman.
and how big your flight is, and your film is in a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is fine. I understand that you want to preserve his artistic vision, sure, but you're telling me that didn't bother you, dude. We're like we're cinephiles, and half the films we watch are obscure, weird shit, and this bothered
Yeah.
me. I'm like, what? Why?
No, I
I
have to ask this one question. Like, okay, I'm gonna use the most obvious example. Javier Dolan's mommy. There is a point to why there is an aspect ratio as such in the movie.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
the Wonderwall scene cements the fact that there is a
Hmm.
purpose to that scene. Yes, moi, indeed,
uh,
right. What purpose did this serve?
but like on top of
The
that, it does you
lighthouse
don't
scene.
even notice the like you don't give a shit that like the aspect ratio is
Yeah,
like that in
that's
mommy.
the thing.
Yeah.
No,
It just
no,
flows
bruh.
in.
In
No,
the
but bro,
lighthouse, yeah, you
bro,
bring up the lighthouse.
lighthouse is also
Oh,
because
exactly.
there's a reason. It's to make us feel, it is to give us the feeling of claustrophobia. That's
Of
essentially
isolation.
why. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's essentially why the lighthouse is in that aspect ratio. The mommy has that aspect ratio because it's kind of showing his own perspective about the world.
Yeah.
When he is given education and that he is given hope, in that scene he opens it up and he sees the world around him in the most basic sense. That's what it's a very basic thought. That writing is very basic. It's as basic as that girl asking what I want to be you as. It's such basic writing, but since he implemented that using this form, it's this form, it hits so hard for us. It hits so hard for every single cynic who was watching that movie. That's the purpose that it
Exactly.
served. What purpose did it serve to keep that movie in that aspect ratio, a movie of such epic scale, for 3 fucking hours in this?
Four.
Ex-
Four, right? Four.
What?
There was a
4
whole
hours,
other
4
hour.
hours. There's a
4 hours.
whole other
Oh,
hour, and
Oh
20
yeah.
minutes of that is a homoerotic scene with Joker.
yeah.
I don't like the worst part is you realize that like I didn't like hate looking at it, but like the part
Yeah.
I really hated was like this them spending 2.5 hours developing like like the other side
Characters.
characters and like
Mm.
Flash, like all of that could have been done in like 45 minutes because all Wonder Woman says is my boyfriend
Boyfriend.
died. My
In the
boyfriend died.
Wonder Woman movie, like Diana was a three-dimensional character. I liked the Wonder Woman movie, to be honest. I thought it was a good commercial entertainer, and the character had some depth because, but in Zack Snyder's Wonder Woman, she's just going on about the dead dude, dead
Yeah, I
boyfriend.
know. He's been dead for 3,000 years. What are you talking about?
Like,
They say
I'm
that
just,
just because the movie came out, so then they can make audiences go, "Oh, look, remember Wonder Woman, the dead
Man,
boyfriend." Even though the second
Yeah.
movie
we
even happened,
know,
the
we
the
film,
know.
second
see,
movie
the
also
thing is,
happened when he came back.
We are
I was
fucking
watching.
nerds.
There
Do
was
you think? No, that's another thing. Zack Snyder. Do you think a person who is not a nerd and not invested in comic book
watch your
lore is
film.
going to sit down and watch 4 hours of this crap? Do you
Because of
think so?
jerking off this fucking. I don't know, dude. The thing is, okay, I was genuinely impressed by the scene. You know the Zeus fight scene, right? The
Yeah.
I
The
was
dark side fight.
yeah,
Dark side
the
fight.
first scene. Although I feel like that kind of made this Darkseid character struggle because it's the first time he's seeing Darkseid and he gets his ass
Yeah,
handed
yeah.
to him.
Like,
I was
it
pissed
was
off by that
weird.
too.
Yeah,
No,
but
I was
I
pissed
was
off
like,
because
they
Darkseid
just
has this power called the
slam
Omega
Darkseid.
beams.
Right.
Yeah, and he doesn't use
Yeah,
it.
Omega
Use it
beams
on-
is like the Omega beams is like the is like a power that has just because of the Omega beams and everything that he's a new god. He has a power equivalent to Galactus from the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
That's how powerful Darkseid is. And
Yeah.
then you see him use the Omega beams once. Second of all, the first time you introduce him, okay, then I did I looked into it. So apparently, when Zeus beat him, he wasn't the new god yet. He was acquiring powers, and that's why they were able to defeat him easily or something. That's what my sources tell me, apparently. But I was just like, and I don't know. That's a personal thing. Other than that, I will tell you. In the final scene, in the final whole, the Kalashakut, in that situation, where was Batman? Batman legit went missing for like 15 minutes.
He was
fam.
standing on top of that thing. He's like, yes. And then when they're about to die, he's like, oh no. And you know what they did? I don't know if anyone else noticed this cut.
Yeah.
He doesn't jump inside the thing. He jumps outside. And in the next shot, he's inside. I don't think anyone else noticed
The
this. He jumps
greatest
outside.
strategist in the world. The greatest strategist in the world.
No,
The
dude,
greatest detective
what
in the world.
pissed me
goes
off?
missing for 15
Dude, that wasn't what pissed me off. So first of all, I think the worst scene in the movie was the Superman and them fighting, which I cannot stop laughing at. Okay, I was
Kal-El,
watching.
no.
Kal-El, no. I'm like, please just call him
Did you guys
Superman.
watch that?
Yes, sir,
Yo,
you
Cyril
are.
link?
It's so
Like,
corny.
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
changed.
It changed it just by little. But
Kal-El,
dude, no.
no.
What pissed
She's
me
more
off?
forceful.
No, I was just
In
I was just
the
laughing when
last part,
Amy Adams
Batman
walked in.
gets in Batman gets his ass handed to him, right? And he
Yeah.
falls like this. Okay, he falls like this, and he's like this, yeah. He's like this, and then he does this or some shit. And then Cyborg, this huge fucker, he comes in front of him, and Batman does.
Dude, he's
No.
Batman.
Also, the most unintentionally funny thing is when not just Kal-El, no. It's when just Lois Lane just walks in and Kal-El just levitates down and he's like, "Hi." That guy, not hi. He just looks
And
at.
then,
Okay,
and she's
really
like,
poor.
like 1 second later, let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
right. Boom.
Yeah. I won't.
And-
Like, I literally won't. You're like a fucking
the-
god who's gone rogue. I'm not
I
gonna
know, right?
touch you. I'll be
Exactly.
scared.
The corniest thing is like
Also,
Aquaman saying
no-
instincts. They go to people who aren't afraid. Like, okay.
Oh, Connie, I want to talk about this scene, the last scene, the Flash saving. Now, in concept, the way it looked, it was a good scene. I
I liked it. I
that
love
scene.
it. I really love it.
Yeah, but come on, Barry, you gotta run faster than the speed of light, and you gotta do it now. Dad, I just want you to know your son was not a bad kid.
Yeah.
He was a good
Dude,
kid.
that, dude, you're running, and is this what you remember with everything you've talked about with your dad, right? You've
Yeah.
you know him for like, I don't know how old he is. Ezra is what, 12, 13
In the
this movie?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
fine,
Yeah,
yeah.
12.
yeah.
12.
How old is Cyril?
Probably the same age. Right?
Cyril
Around
is
that.
Ezra Miller.
Exactly. He's Ezra Miller and that Thomas, I don't know, whatever,
Yeah.
right? So, and he's running towards, and is that all you remember with your dad? Is that all you
Yeah.
guys have talked about? I
Yeah.
am the best of the best, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Dude, okay,
Also,
I know.
there's like that line at the Joker scene in the end, and then when Joker's about to talk about how Robin died, and then Batman is like, "Oh no, if you say that, I'll fucking kill you," and all that, and like
And
a
then it's like,
fucking 5-year-old.
that,
Oh no, don't say it. Oh, I'll fucking kill you. Oh no, stop saying that. Oh, and the Joker's
that's
like,
not being careful.
No,
Like,
but the
really.
man
but I'm
knows how
careful,
to do
Joker.
the. No,
I'm
but
naughty.
here's the thing. Like there are instances of where the man knows how to keep it surprisingly keep it a bit subtle. Like within BVS, I like how he treated the Jason Todd death.
Oh yeah,
Because
it
he just
alludes to
gave
it.
he just gave the Robin suit and it was just ha 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 ha. So you get it. Oh, that's Jason Todd because we know again. Like if my shirt doesn't already show it, I read comic books that the Joker kills Jason Todd.
Yeah,
We
but in
know.
this movie, he's like,
You
"Oh,
sent
I
a
don't know, man.
boy
what
I,
did
I
you
wanted to do
say?
a
expected
man's
Jason
I'll
Todd's
job.
fucking kill you,
character.
Joe."
Dude, I don't
Writing.
believe in like I don't think that was subtle, dude. I feel like there is no other way you could interpret that one.
No, because no. Because he throws the subtlety out the window with the
Right.
final scene, the nightmare scene. He's like,
Right.
you sent the boy wanted to do a man's job. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that, Batman?
No,
Now
especially
in this post
for
I
a.
don't
apocalyptic
think
situation where
I don't
everything
think
is
the
going wrong.
Robin was given enough. Dude, the concept of Robin dying is so like heartfelt and so like
Hmm.
but when I watch the movie, I'm just like fucking go to the next scene.
No,
Come
but
on.
see, that's the
Yeah,
thing,
no,
right?
but here's
You
the
make a
thing.
4-hour film is for people who know this stuff, for people who
Yeah,
want this stuff. People who watch
yeah,
Lighthouse,
Yeah, bro,
like
it's for the
they don't want to watch this.
fans.
It's for the fans. It's
Yeah,
for
It's
yeah.
people like us who know
fans.
this shit.
yeah, like actually,
Honestly,
like the fans of like people who like DC, people who read comics. Like I saw Justice League when it released, and I was
Hmm.
like my like a couple of my college seniors, and like I'm in this group of the people who watched it, and they're all like huge DC fans, and they love the movie because of all the references
Am
and
I
all of
The
that,
broken
all
or
of
original
that
Justice
shit.
something?
League.
Am I broken? Dude,
I don't know. I don't know
see,
why, but they
I'm
love the
talking
movie.
from
They love Snyder
no,
Cut.
that's the thing. No, the thing about Snyder Cut is the thing about Zack Snyder as an issue. I hate how I'm just gonna say it. I hate how Zack Snyder treats the material. I do because as I mentioned before, this is my biggest issue I've had even before he started making Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel, but
Mm.
here's the thing. Watchmen is I've said this before. Watchmen is my favorite graphic novel of all time. Like
right.
it fucking
Yeah.
is. It's my
Fuck
favorite
yeah.
comic book. Yeah. So within, if you read Watchmen, you know how important the character Ozymandias is.
Yeah,
You know how important he is. In the
yeah, yeah.
movie, Zack Snyder gives Ozymandias rubber nipples to make fun of Joel Schumacher giving Batman in Batman and Robin rubber nipples. You are not going to use Ozymandias to fucking for a fucking joke. You're not like you have to pay respect to the character that it's not a character that you created. It's a character
Exactly.
that has been made and a lot of people cherish and a lot of people hold dearly. So if you're gonna make movies for the fans and people who are quote unquote nerds, like don't disrespect the fucking character. Don't give them rubber nipples because you want to throw shots at fucking Joel Schumacher, who's nowhere relevant.
But I
Nobody cares anymore.
see that's again like there's a way to do it. If you're gonna do it,
Yeah.
and you do it like see, do you know how Shane Black handled the Mandarin in Iron Man 3?
Oh
That was
yeah,
I loved it, you know.
I
I
really liked
actually
it.
I
loved it. I
It was
loved it
Mm.
good.
so the moment
It
he
was.
like
it was a shot. No, but I okay, go on.
okay, I
Yeah,
feel like I need to give a little context. When I saw it, I was 9 years old.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I was 14, so yeah.
no. Then I saw it again, and I'm like, if you're going to subvert expectations, it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily need to be respectful in the sense that, but this is more like Shane Black like coming and telling you, is like, this is
Hmm.
my movie, dude. Please.
Okay,
chill out."
yeah, I
Be
get that.
consistent. Be consistent.
No, I can respect that. No, I can respect that opinion. Why personally, why I did not like it is because I could see Mandarin is like well, the Joker to
Yeah.
Batman's Joker, that kind of deal. So the potential was, whoo, So
Exactly.
the way, yeah. So when he did that, he kind of nipped that at the bud, is what I felt. Because I would have loved to see like Ben Kingsley, say Ben. Is it
I think
Kingsley or
Kingsley.
that's
Kingston?
Ben
Yeah,
Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin for like as a villain going forward. I think it would have it would have opened up a lot of possibilities. That's why I have an issue with it. But
I-
again, the whole thing, but him using it as a thing, like here, it's just that he was serving the movie.
Exactly.
He did that for a purpose. The subversion of expectations. Even you, whether it be 9 years old, how many years old you were entertained by it.
Yeah.
You were shocked,
Mhm.
right? It served its purpose there. It
Yeah.
entertained the viewer. At least one viewer out of all these viewers, it served its purpose. What purpose did the rubber nipple serve other than making fun of Joel Schumacher? Again, nobody cares. If I hadn't known about that, I would be just wondering, why does Ozymandias have rubber nipples in this movie? Why?
Movie
Yeah.
was great.
What would you
but
say to
what was
someone
the-
who doesn't have any knowledge of Watchmen? Because I haven't read the novel, neither have I watched the film.
No,
What
wait,
would
wait,
you-
wait.
Read the novel.
Before we get into I would see. There's this one thing I wanted to say about the whole Mandarin thing, right? You said
Yeah.
that it got nipped at its bud, but I feel like if it didn't get nipped at its bud, the only way it would end is a WandaVision big fight scene or a
Oh yeah,
Thanos big
that's
fight
also
scene.
there.
Because
Yeah,
Marvel
that's
wouldn't have
also
done
there.
it well. They
Exactly.
wouldn't
Yeah,
have
there
explored
is
its potential.
the only time that Marvel has ever smartly handled a villain, or like I'm talking about both the Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame as one movie right now, because the final
Thanos.
climactic fight scene is a climactic fight scene. But if the only time where they have smartly handled a villain is Iron Man 3, and it has never happened otherwise.
I'll be
Every
honest,
other movie is like a big fight scene.
Iron
To
Man
be
3
honest,
had
I
so
kind
much
of see the
potential.
point. Yeah, I see the
Like,
point that you're trying. Yeah,
I
agree
remember
with you.
watching the Iron Man 3 trailer. That's the most hyped I've genuinely ever been for a Marvel film. I remember looking at it. That was
Mhm.
the first film where I actually started thinking about movies, because up until then it was like, oh,
What is
every
your
movie I watched.
favorite right now? What would you say is your favorite Marvel movie?
A
If you
Guardians of
have
the Galaxy Volume 2.
Okay,
Like
fine.
of
Yeah,
MCU, right?
same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
MCU,
because
yeah.
Iron Man 3 made me think, like, I liked the ending. Like most
Mhm.
people, like my age or like younger, like a 6-year-old watched that and they think, man, I want some more Iron Man.
Mhm.
When I watched
Yeah,
it, I thought that's kind of great. That's kind of different. But
Yeah.
I know for a
Mm.
fact he's gonna come back in the next Avengers movie, and that's
Yeah.
gonna kill the whole deal.
Yeah.
Even
Iron Man
like
3 had the
Yeah.
potential to be the best Marvel movie ever. And I
Yeah.
love so much
It
of
did.
what's in it, but there's also so much which is just so Marvel.
I get where you're coming from, because I feel old when I'm saying this, but I was like 8 or 9 when I watched the original Iron Man as it came out. And in the ending, when he does say, I am Iron Man, what the fuck? He just said
Exactly.
his secret
Yeah,
name.
Iron Man.
It was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You don't do that. That's illegal. Yeah, no. But speaking of that thing, again, serving the purpose of the movie thing, right? That why, again, coming back to the point of why I do not like how Zack Snyder how he makes comic book movies. The usage of the black Superman suit. The person
Maybe
who has read the
why?
comics.
Q.
Exactly.
Why are you
See,
doing this?
That's the thing. There is a lot of plot significance to the black Superman suit. It's not just for the aesthetics.
It was a regeneration suit in the comics, and in this one, they just
It
play
kind-
monologues
it is-
of. They play
Oh, wait,
Russell
wait,
Crowe
wait, wait, wait,
monologues.
wait,
and
wait,
it-
wait. Pause, guys. It's Advay's birthday. Happy birthday, Advay.
Oh, happy
shit.
Oh
birthday!
shit! Happy
God,
birthday!
happy birthday,
What? Oh
Advay.
shit!
Damn.
Is it?
Oh,
Happy
thank
birthday.
I think he's still lying
You're
about it.
17 now, right?
I never have a birthday.
How what a way to spend your birthday.
17.
What a fantastic way to spend your birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're meeting tomorrow, so that's dope. That's dope.
We'll sing the Joker theme, guys.
the
I am.
Hildur Guðnadóttir one where she
Yeah,
won like
yeah.
every award ever. The sad.
I'm actor. Yeah, no.
Advay, dance, Advay.
Advay, come on, stand on your car. Call your
Do
gang.
the dance.
Just
Advay, shoot Robert De Niro.
You're laughing. Shoot Robert De Niro. You know, that scene actually wasn't scripted. Joaquin Phoenix just got pissed and shot him in the face. Luckily, Todd Phillips was filming the whole time.
Yeah. Oh
Dude, you know
god,
this
that's
Robert De
another.
Niro guy? He's in like other movies.
Oh yeah, dude. I heard he acted as
Yeah,
Oh
Travis
yeah,
Scott in this film
Meet the
called King of
Fockers. Yeah,
Comedy.
bro, my favorite comedy.
yeah.
I
He
like
apparently
Kid
played an
Done.
Uber driver or something. I don't know what
Yeah,
that's about.
that's
Let's
what
check
his
it
name
out.
was. Travis Scott in this film called
Travis
King of
Scott.
Travis
Comedy.
Yeah, yeah,
Scott,
he played
yeah.
Travis Scott in that as a
King of
driver.
Comedy. King
Yeah.
of Comedy. That's him.
I want to know,
Listen
like,
to
genuinely,
Astro
it's become a meme now. What do you guys genuinely think of Taxi Driver?
Oh, it's
It's
brilliant.
a,
It's
It's
a
fucking
brilliant
brilliant,
movie.
Great
right?
Man,
movie.
it's a
Great
It's an
movie.
meme, but it's
amazing
fucking
movie.
awesome.
It's not
Yeah,
like it's a joke, but it's a really good movie.
it's a
Wait,
It's
really
wait,
good.
like
wait, 1 minute. Coming back to the Snyder Cut. Do you guys like Endgame or Snyder Cut more?
Yeah. How can you compare something like that, bro? On
See,
what terms are you
Endgame is
comparing?
better, but at least Snyder Cut had some. It was
Wait,
heart.
going
how are you
somewhere.
comparing these two movies? On what
No, I'm not
terms?
comparing them on the basis of like individual movies, but like the objectives
You're just
it's
asking
trying
which
to.
one you like better.
Oh,
That's it.
which one I
Yeah,
Pretty
liked better,
straightforward question.
or
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
the
Which one you
terms
like
that
better?
like which one like served its purpose, or
No,
which
which
one
one you
is
like better to your personal purposes?
just purely enjoyment level?
Yeah, yeah,
Without a doubt, Endgame. Who would say the Snyder Cut?
Yeah.
yeah. But I also think there's
I
like
think I
as
would.
Shrutin said,
Yeah.
like the the Snyder Cut spend the first 45 minutes, like spend the first 2 hours, building its characters,
Yeah.
while Marvel did it over
Marvel
21
made a,
movies.
and at the same time, Marvel made a slideshow in their own movie, just showing all their previous movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, see,
and Marvel
Endgame
just
is better, but like, honestly, I would want to watch Justice League. I mean, I'd enjoy it more.
I would like
Like, as a comic book
I would
fan,
enjoy like a
Yeah.
Snyder Cut version of Endgame, like if an author director made Endgame. Like
like,
imagine like a Jim Jarmusch version of Endgame.
imagine
No, I don't think
if,
Jim Jarmusch. I feel like
imagine if Edgar Wright actually made
Isn't
Ant-Man, dude. Like, just
isn't
if
think about.
PTA a huge fan of Marvel movies? Imagine a
Yeah,
PTA
PTA
Endgame.
is an
Yeah.
actually
the
a
thing is,
huge
the thing is,
MCU
I
fan.
cannot imagine any director other than John Anthony Russo directing both the Endgame and like Infinity War. I don't think it
Yeah,
would work.
also about I forgot to mention this about Cherry. The thing is, Joe and Anthony Russo are very talented comedy directors. They have good. Have you guys seen Arrested Development and
Oh, and no, they actually, I know this. Actually, they
yeah,
got
yeah,
the
and
gig for
Community?
like, yeah, for the win for they actually got the
They were like sitcom
for
directors, right?
yeah, Winter
So like
Soldier because
yeah,
of the episode on Community where they play paintball or something, right? The
yeah,
paintball
like
episode,
they
right?
are
Yeah.
pretty talented in like comedy direction. That's why like Endgame, like the light-hearted moment, the comedy moments, like
Mm.
work more than Justice League,
Yeah,
even though some may seem a bit off. Like they, they're not overdoing it. I think that's what Zack Snyder is doing. The same thing too. It's just that the what happened with Snyder and the whole Warner Brothers situation was just unfortunate for Snyder because what the thing is Marvel had a plan and it worked out, but the thing about Snyder is that they had a plan but it didn't work out. He
He had to
intended
make do.
yeah,
yeah, they intended like a Lord of the Rings trilogy type of thing with Justice League, which is it sounds interesting, and each movie could have been the first movie could have set up the character, second movie the second
Mm.
act of, and the third movie something else. Like it made sense why Zack Snyder gave so much of a shit.
yeah.
But yeah,
He knew it would be
from
his last
at the,
movie,
yeah
probably.
at
So
the
he tried.
same at the same time
But it ended up
at
being the
this
last
moment.
movie ever. Like,
Exactly.
The only
Yeah,
movie
at the
ever.
no
I
more
think you
movies
mean
ever
that,
made.
right?
Yeah.
Time.
The only
The
movie
only
All
movie
other
that
movies
ever
cease to
exists.
exist.
is the
Yes,
Snyder
yes,
Cut and Joker. They're just one movie now.
I find it funny in the future people will be searching longest movies ever made and it'll be like Satan Tango,
Tango.
Godfather Part 2, and fucking Snyder Cut.
Seven Samurai.
Fanny and Alexander, Decalogue. Snyder's cut.
I actually fear that, like, not like you guys know Dunkachino, right?
Wait, oh shit. Al
Yeah, like
Pacino,
Yeah, Al
in
the
Pacino.
Pacino
commercial
and
for Dunkin' Donuts, and
Jack
it's like,
and Jill. Yeah.
yeah. Like he comes in and he's like, the commercial is like he walks in and then he's like, oh my god, it's Al Pacino. No, it's not Al anymore. It's Dunk. Then he says Dunkachino and starts rapping, and then
Mm.
one of the comments are like, literally 14-year-old, some 14-year-olds think that this guy is Dunkachino and Robert De Niro is that guy from Joker. And it makes sense because like so many people don't know about like the Godfather or like
Fuck, that's
like Al
real.
Pacino. Like they know Godfather, but they don't know Al Pacino's in it. They know like Goodfellas, but they don't know Robert De Niro is in it. Like it's so
Yeah, it's
weird
that
to
just goes
me.
to show like how much the media like shapes our perception on shit, right? I mean,
Yeah,
whatever we know about the Justice League is just being fed to us. We don't we
yeah.
don't know
Like
what's happening inside, right?
like within these five people, Ren, like he knows about all the Superman stuff,
Hmm.
and like I never gave a fuck about the comic book shit, so I just didn't notice it, but Ren did. So in a way, like he has more like another
Yeah.
side of information with him than I do,
I feel like
Uh,
and
on an
Wait,
objective,
Ren, you've read the comic, right?
Which
You know
one?
that he's supposed to have a mullet, right? Superman with the black suit.
Yeah, he's supposed to have like a whole ass beard and shit.
Beard,
The
yeah,
thing is,
it's a
yeah,
regeneration suit, and he's been dead for
yeah,
years. Snyder
yeah.
wanted a mullet. Like the
Ma-
black suit already feels weird. How do you think the mullet would have fit
he would
in?
have looked like Ren.
Imagine Superman with a mullet coming in and be like, not impressed.
No, it's just again like like again like a person, because it's the kind of person that he see. Even when you're talking about Iron Man 3, the director is why when he did the whole Mandarin thing, he is being genuine to himself. The self agency is there. Like he is telling you that I am not gonna be a director who's gonna completely be a comic book guy. But Zack Snyder is like this.
He's
How do
trying
I
to go
put
for the
it?
comic book graphic novel
Yeah,
kind of look.
he's trying to be the enthusiast director. That's the kind of thing. Like if you ask like if you ask like a smartphone enthusiast, they are not going to say, "Oh, I'll buy an iPhone." They're going to give you like this specific hyper Republic of Gamers phone or something. I'm not like something you'd call like an enthusiast phone, right? But so he's going for that niche. He's setting up himself for that niche, which is not exactly a niche at this point of time. Like a large population does follow at least in some way or form, it has been done. Also, if he's showing the death of Superman, the death of Superman has also already been made a movie. Like the Warner Brothers already make like animation, DC animated movies. Do you know that? So
Yeah.
the thing is, so the movies that he's trying to show, Flashpoint Paradox already made, Death of Superman already made, even Superman Red Sun, where it's a reimagining of whether if Superman landed in Soviet Russia
USSR.
and became a communist fucking leader. There's fucking Joseph Stalin in it and shit.
That
And
movie
next,
exists. The
Yeah,
animated movie came out.
it
I haven't seen
exists.
it.
So,
it's
yeah,
on Prime.
yeah. So that exists. So see, it's been done. It's been done before. So when he does this, I don't think there is much how like if
It's
it's
an
his
Easter
wish.
egg.
Yeah. No. If it, yeah, like
Yeah, it
so
actually
he's
is, isn't
going
it?
for he's going for that, right? That's what I'm saying. He's going for the whole, I'm going for the comic book enthusiast. That's the kind of director that he wants to be. But he is also vehemently manipulating it. He's all for to no avail. He's already contradicting himself throughout the movie. Also, this as a comic book fan, this is annoying. I watched that movie for 4 hours. I watched 3 hours of Endgame. I was entertained. I will say I was in the theater with first day and the crowd and everything, the whole
Oh yeah.
ambience. I was entertained.
Oh,
The
yeah.
end of it, I cried. Okay, I'll be man enough to say I cried when Iron Man died. Okay,
Who did?
I've been
Who did?
I've been watching
Novel.
this dude say that I am Iron Man since I was, like, as I said, since I was 8. Now I'm
10 years.
80.
Been
It's been
10 years.
10
We've been
years I've
watching
been
it
with
for
this
10
characters
years.
and I've been invested. So I cried and I was entertained throughout. I was even entertained at the like comically dumb shit where Captain America holds a Mjolnir. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, fuck it.
hell yeah,
I
dude.
was cheering, but I did not get that any of that ounce of entertainment out of Justice League. I have to say, did not, because I wasn't invested in the characters, because the character writing is already bad. Everything that it did not serve its purpose, first of all. So 4 hours I
Like
watched this. It's not even canon
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
like you
unless
like
we restore the Snyderverse. Why
the
did I watch this?
only like the only thing you get out of like even though Endgame is like kind of similar in terms of Snyder Cut, like the first half is like so insanely boring.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
like but like thing is like there is like a payoff in Snyder Cut. There is like the only payoff is like that those two scenes you see Superman like beating the shit out of Steppenwolf, which is kind of cool to see because like
Yeah.
everyone's struggling Superman. So like it's just even just that one scene of his axe on his like shoulder and he's like not impressed. That's pretty cool, and that's it. That's all the payoff.
The
Like
thing
there's
is,
nothing other
there is no payoff for Justice League because of one, its structure itself. It's got a 6-act structure, right? And
yeah.
the thing is, every act has like certain beats in the story that repeats itself. So every
Hmm.
act, in some sense, has its own payoff where you don't remember this film for one thing, but for 6 different things that don't like necessarily culminate or come together in any sense or form. When we are watching Endgame, it's Endgame. It's one movie. There's no first, second, and third act because
Yeah.
it like it's got 10 years of development, and
Endgame is the
Yeah.
act. It's the
Endgame is
final
Yeah.
the
act.
Endgame is the final act of these 10 years.
Yeah, and even Marvel acknowledges it. Endgame
Of
is
course.
part two of two movies.
Of
Yeah.
You know?
Hmm.
course. And like
Yeah.
it's that's what the thing is, when you watch Snyder Cut, these beats repeat itself in the sense that okay, how many times am I going to give a shit? The first time I just found it comical that Aquaman was even doing what he's doing, and now you want me
Hmm.
to go through that again. So there is no real payoff, and it wasn't designed to have payoff, but that didn't work out clearly. I don't know what it was designed
Hmm.
for. I speak of me liking the Snyder Cut in the sense that I like the idea that he even got to put his work out, and I found certain scenes cool in it, and I thought that some scenes were like really entertaining to me, but
Yeah.
the enjoyment level is definitely
Not even, yeah, definitely on the
exponentially
other.
higher in Endgame.
Yeah.
See, Endgame. You can say the first, the Endgame. The thing is, it's like a very, it's kind of like a very unimpressive yet efficient hand job, because it takes you like 2 hours 45 minutes to
Microhands.
get there, but you get there. That's the thing. Zack Snyder's Justice League is just a bad hand job. You beat it for 4 hours and nothing comes out
You
of it,
This
jerk
is
yourself off to
literally
no
and you're
end.
just like,
that's exactly
why?
what Advait said in the last episode. He literally said
What?
this.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Fuck, let's go.
Dude, I want to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Had Snyder Cut, like let's say his daughter didn't, that whole thing
Yeah.
didn't happen
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
the studio didn't interfere,
Mhm.
the movie would have obviously been shorter. Like it would have been, let's
Ah,
just say
yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
Do you
sure.
because
think
that's
it would have
because
been better? Do you think it would have been better?
no, like that's because
Yeah, of
the
course
only
it.
thing this is 4 hours long because Snyder got an opportunity after 3 years to do this
Yeah,
again.
so you
So
sort of
he's
make
like,
up for
well,
that.
well, now I do have something like this, so I might as well as make it
Yeah.
4 hours long and do
Yeah.
something like that. But I feel like most of the good reviews of Justice League Snyder Cut is that they compare it to the
Relatively.
original Justice League.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, like if the original Justice League never happened and all this emotion wasn't there, would it be getting that much love?
Yeah, I
No,
agree.
I don't
But
think so.
that's
No,
that's
not
the
at all.
thing.
Exactly.
But again, if the original Justice League didn't exist, this wouldn't exist. So I feel like the fact that we are comparing this relatively is uh, inevitable, and it was going to happen. The fact that this Justice League, given it's like there was this one episode where of like Fantano, right, where he was talking about like how people compared, like he was talking about Damn by Kendrick Lamar, where he talked about how someone said that he's comparing this to his other albums, and he's like, bro, I wouldn't even be talking about Damn if it wasn't for his other albums. The fact that we are holding it in this light is because of his other albums. We always work in context. There is no way you're going to judge
Yeah, but
Justice
like
League.
I feel like it's different with the theatrical cut and the director's cut for a film, because like what you're talking about is in the grand scheme of things, as in like
Mm.
Citizen Kane
Mhm.
and Taxi Driver, shit like that. I'm talking about like two movies that came out in a difference of 3 years, and by the same people behind it. It's like a redo on things.
Right.
So in a way, like they're doing it
No,
again for the
but the
first time,
thing is, dude, if you have seen the original Justice League and you've seen the Snyder Cut, there is no way you're going to judge the Snyder Cut 100% as a film itself, because the only way you
We're
can
gonna
judge it as a
compare it
film
with them.
itself, yes, exactly. You're going to assume what it would work like if it were a film for itself. That is not your opinion on
yeah.
the film. Your opinion on the film is completely contextualized due to the previous film, that was Justice League. There is no way your mind and like how you react to the film will not be compared.
I
There's
mean,
certain
but
scenes
like
where you'll be like, oh wait, this was different in the original Justice League. You can't avoid, you can't refrain from that. The thought is too intrusive. You're like, okay, fine, it's part of the me criticizing the movie now. It's okay, and that's fine. I feel like that's okay. If you're going to judge it relative to something else, I don't think that's a bad
but
thing. I
in
think
that
it's
case, like the Snyder cut is so much better than the
sure.
yeah. But
See,
like I
anyone could
still
tell
don't
that
like it.
from watching the trailer. Like,
It,
just
it
At
is way better. Again, a vision
Yeah,
was
but I
there.
still don't like it though.
no,
Yeah,
and
I
there are
I
was.
wouldn't
you can
watch it
have that opinion for
again.
sure. That's how like
Yeah.
the ratings work, right? People gives Justice League like a half, and you gave Snyder Cut like a 2.5, right? That doesn't mean you like the movie. I just prefer the movie over the previous one. That's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
just
like
just
prefer it. Yeah.
like
there
agree.
are so many scenes I saw in Snyder Cut where, like, I genuinely want to think what was Warner Bros. Intention behind the original. Like, there's this small scene, right, where the
Mm.
janitor finds the parademon in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
in the
yeah,
dog. Yeah, and his face is like, "Oh my God, I'm scared." And you go
Ah,
back to the original movie, and that scene is reshot. He has no reaction on his face. It's things like that where you wonder, Joss Whedon
what were
really
they
went.
thinking?
Yeah, like I remember there were few people back then. They were like, Joss Whedon made the movie
Parallels,
bad
yeah.
on purpose just so Infinity War would be better. I'll be
yeah.
honest. After watching this movie,
You
I
kind of
would
believe
not
it.
disagree. I no, I mean it just makes so much more sense now because this is so much
There's
bafflement and
no other way you can explain this piece of shit.
But
exactly that's the
one
most
thing the
plausible
Red
argument.
Letter Media review of Snyder Cut said, like people like yeah, Joss Whedon is a piece of shit, by the way. Like he's kind of toxic on set.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Apparently,
This thing, dude, you
but
can see like the way the
Is he?
shitty guy Joss
I'm
Whedon
not.
is
not that like
with how they
the
shot Wonder
people.
Woman scenes. Like
Oh
Ah,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
crotch
so
shots.
No,
They're
obvious.
not
all
just that.
removed.
Like people otherwise blame Joss Whedon for ruining like Justice League, but Joss Whedon just came and did his job. To be
Yeah,
honest, like
Warner
yeah,
Bros.
like
Let
as
him
you
do
said,
this.
No, the thing
some of
is,
the like ass shots of Wonder Woman and like the bad jokes, those are Joss Whedon. But like the the parts that were kept in the scenes that were reshot, those weren't Joss Whedon. Those were like orders given to Joss Whedon.
I don't. That's why I don't think that
More of the
Infinity
studio's
War
fault than
making
Joss
Infinity
Whedon's.
War better. That concept even that's complete bullshit because he had to show this movie to the Warner Bros. Officials, right? And they wouldn't want that, and like he also has to report to people because it's never that transparent with any movie. In fact, we all work with like criticism, right? You put something out and then I show my film to Advay and he's like, bro, this scene sucks. Do something about it. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do something about it. And then I try again. Of course, this is like independent. Now imagine this working for like
Yeah.
200, 300 people. This is weird, right? Exactly. It's not supposed to work like that. It's all right. It's okay. It's fine. It's a part of it. Fuck Joss Whedon, by the way. I never liked him. When I saw Age of Ultron itself, I realized I'm like,
Oh,
Okay.
I'll say this about Age
Power.
of Ultron. Apparently, Disney meddled with the film because around the time it got released, Disney bought Marvel. Now, I'll say this: there are scenes in Age of Ultron where I think it is fantastic. I loved the first Avengers film. Forget about Joss Whedon as a person for a second. Like before you found out all about
No,
this,
I'm talking
imagine
about
you're
the films
back in.
alone. I don't think he's
I don't.
that bad of a guy.
No, I
Yeah.
don't know what did he do? Like what
You
is
know,
his
he's really
background?
toxic on
he
this set.
he
That's it.
created this show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You might have
I
heard
know
of it.
Buffy the Vampire
Yeah,
Slayer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like he was extremely toxic on set. He treated the cast members like shit. He made them
Hmm.
feel bad, like emotionally tortured them. It's
Hmm.
very
But
fucked up.
doesn't
Very
Quentin
Stanley Kubrick or something.
Tarantino, doesn't Stanley Kubrick, doesn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelley
Gaspar
Duvall
Noé?
would like Shelley
Yeah,
Duvall would like to have a
I
word
I
with
exactly.
him.
No,
Shelley
I
Duvall would
always
like to
avo-
say something about this.
I always like to avoid Shining because Stanley Kubrick's one of my favorite
Yeah, no, of
directors.
course.
And people bring up Shining, I'm
Okay,
just
dude,
like,
that's exactly where the whole. Oh, we already talked about this. Shut up. Okay, no, Okay, wait. Tell me about the Snyder Cut. Someone was saying something about the Snyder Cut. What?
Snyder
it
Cut.
was bad.
Alright, yeah. I feel like it was. It was. I. I think objectively we can all agree that the fact that it exists is a good thing, and I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
should be because everything else is.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have to say actually. Like
When will
that's
you
it.
ever be
I have
excited
nothing
for
else to
a
say.
movie like this again? Definitely not Suicide Squad.
What are you
No,
talking
no,
about? What are you
no.
talking about, dude?
Is there any movie, any superhero movie, or any DC, Marvel, or any superhero movie that y'all are actually excited for? Because I am excited for one movie, and that is Robert Pattinson's Batman. Just
Oh
based
yeah,
on the
Oh
trailer.
that
yeah.
I want
that
to see.
Oh yeah.
I
no,
want to
you
see
know,
Paul Dano. I
one
want to see
thing
Pattinson.
I love
Yeah.
about this is Matt Reeves has actually read more than 2 Batman comics. Because every
Okay.
Batman director till now has either read The Killing Joke. By the way, The Killing Joke movie, dog
Oh,
shit.
brilliant,
Like
bro!
I just
Wow,
I
what
just
a
want to say
wonderful,
that.
what a
I just
wonderful.
want to say that.
No,
And
why was the Killing Joke? Why? What was the first act all about?
dude,
Why
why
Batgirl?
is Barbara sleeping with
Why
Batman,
is
dude?
Barbara sleeping
Why
with
does that
Batman?
scene even exist, dude? I was 12.
No,
Imagine shit rise
also,
like
why
anything,
is
dude. When
also
yeah,
why is like what is the whole mafia thing
Dude, the
in the
first
beginning?
half of that movie is just I don't even know. Like the second half is all you need. The last 10 minutes is basically
Just 10
Killing
minutes,
Joke.
but
yeah. I thought the last 10 minutes
that,
was
that,
actually kind of good.
just that,
I thought it was good.
just
Yeah, and that's only because
no,
you've read the comic. If you haven't,
that's
you're
only
just sitting there like, what the
yeah.
shit?
Because in the comic, the whole Barbara sleeping with Batman and the whole mafia boss isn't there. It's just Joker trying to prove all it takes is one bad day. That's the whole point of the whole thing.
I feel like that could have been. That's such a brilliant. Do you know how wonderful of a concept that is? That all it takes is
That's
one
the
bad
whole
day.
point. Yeah,
And
that's the thing.
it
That's
blows my
what
mind.
he ends up saying, and it's just in the end, like Batman and Joker says this joke, and they just laugh at each other, and it's
Yeah.
just him trying to continuously prove that that I'm not like you try to consider you see me as an inferior being, and you see me as this person who should be shackled and put behind. But you don't realize that all it takes is one fucking bad day for you to be me, and that's so good. That's like so good. But they fucked it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, has anyone here watched the Batman Dark Knight Returns films, part
Oh.
1 and 2?
I have.
The animated one is
Do you
good.
like it? I personally loved it, but I'm
Yeah,
sensitive.
no, but I watched it when I was like, I don't know, I was 14, 15 or something. I don't
Yeah,
remember. So
same. Even I
Yeah,
watched it when I
same.
was 14, 15.
Oh,
Yeah.
Advait,
I-
you need to.
That,
10 was
ago.
14 or 15, like 10 years ago, dude. We
Yeah,
were
when I
14
was
yesterday.
12, I went.
No, I
mean,
watched it pretty late. I
No, I
watched the
watched
film
it
pretty late.
No, when I watched it, I was at the height of my comic book
Yeah, yeah.
consumption time. So
So
when I
your views
watched
has,
it,
your views have
enjoyed
changed.
it. What?
Your views have changed on the film.
My
Like,
views have changed. So I haven't really rewatched the Dark Knight Returns movies. I still hold the comic books very close to me because
Yeah.
of the cultural significance much more than anything.
Yeah.
Because it did it did kind of start the whole hey, superheroes don't have to be camp all the time. You can
Yeah.
take them seriously. That kind of thing came into the mainstream because it was highly influential, so you can't really deny its place in the place in culture. But the movies, I don't really recall. I remember enjoying them while I watched it, definitely. But back then, if you were to show me mostly any superhero movie or anything, I would just enjoy it. I would just have fun. I would find something good about it,
Yeah.
which I realized when I was watching. Like I still quite kind of enjoy Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox. I watched it
Oh,
back then, and
yeah.
then I watched it now.
Oh,
So I
now
was
that
like,
so, a lot of the dialogue is just
the
very.
dialogue is just so, but I enjoyed it so much,
Yeah.
and I recommended it to people without watching it again. And I watched it with a friend of mine recently because I told her so much about it, and she was like, "Okay, we gotta watch this," and it is good. The whole the
Yeah.
plot line and everything is good, but the dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah. But like,
Oh.
I
Have you
like to
seen a
remember the
Nicholas Winding
concept.
Refn movie before, right?
Drive
yeah,
made
dude,
me.
there was this
The
movie
driver
called
is
Drive, right?
literally me, guys. He's
Yeah.
literally me.
Dude, guys, imagine a film like
Why do you
Lion.
think this is this color? Like, why do you think this bottle is this color? Live reference.
Have you guys seen Lion? Have you guys seen Lion? The
Who?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Vincent,
I
Vincent
haven't.
Castle.
Isn't
Yeah.
Line like
Im-
kind of similar to Taxi Driver? Like
No.
unironically similar to
There's
Taxi
a scene
Driver?
right out of Taxi Driver. Are you talking to me?
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
is
Oh,
there.
No,
that's what I heard.
that's obviously like supposed. I feel like
Yeah, that.
that was so brilliant, dude. That scene was.
Yeah.
Oh man! See,
Yeah, the
Lion
way
is one of
how
my
they did
favorite
it?
movies of all time, right?
You
Imagine
know
a
how
film
they
like
did it?
yeah. It's not a mirror. It's just a
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Stanford.
Yeah. But that was, okay. But the thing is, imagine a
I
film
can't
like
stop making that face.
just casually Ren's mom walks in and
I
he's
used to associate that movie with Varun for a long time because that was his letterbox profile.
oh, yeah,
With
dude, of course.
Vincent Castle. Vincent Castle.
Yeah,
and
of Vincent
Yeah.
Castle, like pointing fingers and.
That was
Have
All
you
my
watched
homies.
this movie? Another
Which one?
European. I think this European. Have you watched? I love this movie for some reason. Run Lola Run.
Oh yeah, I
Have you-
saw that.
I like it. I like it so much. I don't know why. I just enjoy the shit out of it.
wait,
Have
one,
you watched Run Lola Run?
1 second.
Absolutely.
Ren, what's your favorite movie right now? Right now, not your favorite movie of all time. Right now.
അയ്യോ അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ചോദിച്ച if you
Say
ask
inherent
me,
voice.
what do I
Say
say?
inherent voice.
It's okay, not inherent voice actually. If you were to say I'm a master fan.
The Master?
The Master.
Oh.
All right.
Oh
The
yeah,
Master.
close enough.
Wait.
You
I want
put me
to.
on the spot, so I have
No,
to
that's
say
all right. Master's a good pick. Master's a good pick.
Yeah.
Wait, Cyril, what about you?
Well,
Please shut the fuck up. I know what's gonna come out of your mouth.
It's an.
Inherent voice.
obviously inherent voice. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
inherent voice.
Wait, Shruthin, what about you?
Like my favorite movie right now, it's
Yeah.
I would be A Long Day's Journey into Night.
Oh,
If I can, yeah.
Advay, what about you?
Shame.
Shame?
Oh, Steve McQueen.
Oh, you're going through your shame phase again?
Dude, I
shit.
watched it
Oh,
again.
you're
Like,
a sex addict?
I will just like. I don't think this is the right platform. It's recording right now, so I don't want to like get into it. But the film is quite personal to me in some ways. I don't have sex 24/7. I'll just say that. Okay, guys.
Come on, guys. I have a letterboxd account. You knew this.
But it is personal to me, and like I usually try to remove that from my films. But that film just came at the right time, and holy shit, dude, that was such a fantastic
That
film.
movie
Advay,
just came at the right time.
What?
You said that movie came at the right time.
I'm talking about shit.
Yeah. No, but
Wait,
like
so,
genuinely, again, I haven't seen a lot of films, but it is my favorite of the decade, last decade. As of now, I might find a better movie. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah. What is your favorite movie of the last decade? To the
Yeah.
panel. Start off with Varun.
Oh.
Let's go.
Bro, The Lighthouse. Fuck yeah, dude. The Lighthouse.
Okay,
maybe.
fair enough.
Wait, you know what? Wait. No. Wait, now I need to think a little bit. My
Yeah.
favorite movie of the last decade. Dude, no, man. Okay, why are you doing this?
Tree of
So-
Life.
Now I regret asking that question because I can't find an answer myself.
Oh, God. All right.
I can't find an answer
Wait,
myself.
do I think... Wait, is this the favorite movie of the last decade or what do I think is the best movie of the last decade?
What is it? Both?
No, it doesn't
Both.
work like that. No, best is
Okay,
more objective.
favorite. No, favorite. Give me subjective. I don't care about objective. Give me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
give me
it's like I'm
favorite
gonna
The
go
Lighthouse.
sleep after this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We'll
Same.
probably
Favorite
wrap this
movie.
shit's longer
Yeah.
than fucking
Yeah.
Endgame.
It's been 3 hours. Yeah.
It's been
Once
3 hours.
again.
I'm not even going to edit this. This is just going
Yeah.
commando mode.
Shruthin, which is your favorite movie of the last decade?
Man, I really like I'll have to sit down and think about it, but like the first movie that comes into mind is A Long Day's Journey into Night. I can't help it. It's like I love that
Fair
movie.
enough. Yeah. Adway, favorite. I think
Shame.
Shame. Shame.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Shame.
Cyril, I know. So,
I
Wait.
have two. I have two.
I have one.
Both
I have
are
one more.
in the
Okay.
same.
Minus Synecdoche Union. Minus Synecdoche Union.
Synecdoche.
That didn't come in the decade.
That didn't come out in decade. That was 2009 or
2011.
something.
2011.
No,
No,
2007.
11,
It was
11,
2007.
No,
11.
it's 2008.
Synecdoche.
You fucking.
It came in 2008. What are you saying,
Oh
bro?
shit. Yeah? Oh dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
No mind.
Okay. Cyril, let's go. One Korean padam
Yeah.
is what I know. Go on.
It's Inherent Vice and the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
I
Okay.
guess like another movie I could like put in there is I'd say any movie by Bong Joon-ho, but like Snowpiercer.
Oh, Snowpiercer
Yeah.
more than Parasite?
Parasite, like I haven't seen multiple times, but I've seen Snowpiercer like 3 times. So like I appreciate its nuances more. Like I remember, like this is so funny, right? I remember watching Parasite for the first time. I did not understand what it was about, but I still enjoyed the movie so much. I was like, damn, this movie is kind of cool. And then then I realized what it's about. I'm like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the weird tangent, but like I feel like Bong Joon-ho does that so well. It's like you can enjoy the movie, but you can also see like what he's like getting at in the movie. Like you can like just shut your brain off and watch the movie, or you can like enjoy it. Like sorry, or you can like critically analyze it. It's the same with like most of his Okja is about like how it's like about like the animal slaughter industry. Like it's bad. It's like really disgusting sort of. And it's like what else? What else? The Host.
Right.
It's about like pollution, like corporations polluting, and they're like no responsibility. It's all about that.
But it's also a
still
dumb
really,
monster movie. So
yeah, it's a really
Yeah.
good thriller. It's so much fun watching it. Like even like what else? What else? Yeah, Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer, really good adventure movie. You just like look at that,
but
there's,
again,
like,
it's
still,
about like class and all of that.
yeah, it's like
Brilliant.
it's like it's a train. You can't get out. Like it's you're locked in. There's no way to get out. It's so that's why I like appreciate him so much, because like you can't really uh, yeah, I'm gonna talk about politics for a minute here, but like you can't really express like communist or socialist ideas in South Korea because they're incredibly repressed. They have been repressed for a while, and like the fact that Bong Joon-ho can say all of this shit without anyone batting an eyelid and like everyone just pouring money into him, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most amazing directors. Like
I think that's the apex of a filmmaker. It just shows how
like,
smart he is.
Like even like I remember like he doesn't. I think I remember watching an interview and he was like, I don't cut a single shot. Like he doesn't let the producer cut a single shot. It's like this is a thing. Like most like a lot of directors do this, but like he like doesn't let them cut the shot. Like there's this
Fish shot is essential.
Like he wants it in there and he'll just make up a lie to just keep it in there. And like there was this fish scene in the Snowpiercer and he just lied about it being important to his granddad so that Harvey Weinstein would let it stay in the movie, and he was like, yeah, sure. That's how he kept it in the movie. And this guy's pretty amazing. I feel like
he's also a
like,
pretty fantastic person, like in general. Like
Yeah.
the art and the artist.
No, I
like,
still have goosebumps. See, call me a basic bitch, but I still do consider Martin Scorsese as my personal favorite, greatest living director. If you were to subjectively ask me who my greatest living director is, I would say
the director of Joker, right.
oh yeah, not
No, genuinely, I want to ask, like, how much do you guys actually like Irishman, dude? Because I genuinely think,
I
other
was
than the
gonna
de-aging,
say No,
If I get the
if you
de-aging out of the way, it's a 10 for me, like a
It's
no,
masterpiece.
no,
not the
Yeah,
if you
same.
were to ask me my
It's-
favorite movies from the last decades, I would say three movies.
Mm.
And favorite, like that were like, you know, that I held so close to me,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Okay, I'm cheating, yeah. I would say one is the obvious master. I'm gonna say three other than that.
Mm.
It might seem like I
Master
don't
or
watch.
the master?
What?
ഒരു
Master
കൊറിയൻ
or
പടം.
the master?
Wait. The man in the plan right here. No, it's like Vati coming. Like, no, okay, fine. So it's just the thing is, three movies, and it might seem like that I haven't watched four movies, but these three movies are just subjective. My very favorite movies. One is End of the Tour. It's an A24 movie.
Yeah.
It's about David
By
Foster Wallace.
David
Yeah,
Foster Wallace, yeah.
I love that movie. That's
Great
one.
movie, fantastic
Yeah,
movie.
a fantastic movie. I love that movie so much. I'm a sucker for like conversation-driven cinema. Okay, the other movie is Lynn Ramsey's "You Were Never Really Here."
Oh, baby.
Uh,
Good boy. Thank you so much for picking that movie. I want
Yeah.
to see
Oh,
it.
Yeah,
God.
and the third is The
That
Irishman.
movie.
The Irishman.
Oh.
I have to say,
The I am like it. It's very subjectively. It kind of fed into the my geekiness about like history and everything, and it was just so epic, and it was just so
Last
It
satisfying
felt
for
like
me
the
to watch.
end of an
Uh,
era, of Martin Scorsese's
Oh,
gangster
I
era.
dude,
It
the-
was the end
God,
game
I
we never
love
got.
those
It was the
things.
end game we never
It
got.
I
was
love The Irishman so much. See, I'm
Irishman
even
is
doing
so
this
great.
research.
The
I
Irishman
love The
felt like
Irishman
a
so much.
jazz song. It felt like the last jazz song in an album.
It
You
looked
know?
like it is a Kamasi Washington album
Exactly.
in cinema form. That's the
Exactly.
thing.
And when
I've
have
watched
you
that movie
ever
3
been
times. It's 3.5 hours long. I watched it 3 times.
Dude, that's almost as long as Advai's lived. Okay, but the thing is that have you ever been so subconsciously affected by a film? You know something's wrong when they stop playing the music.
Yeah.
oh shit!
And
my
the direction,
fucking
dude, that final scene when the door is just there and you see
like-
my god, The Irishman. I love it so much.
It's
And also again, End of the Tour. If anybody hasn't watched End of the Tour, go and watch
I
End of
haven't
the
seen
Tour.
it. I'll watch it.
Please watch
rewatch
End of
it
the
again.
Tour.
I wanna. I'm just gonna rewatch it again tomorrow or something.
Yeah, please watch End of the Tour. I want to rewatch it again. It's so fucking brilliant. It's
Wait, so
fucking
I have
brilliant.
like one more question before like the wrap up. Like
Yeah.
one last question. What movie has affected you personally? Not your favorite movie, like the movie that like personally affected you the most. Not your favorite,
Oh,
not
man.
necessarily your favorite.
Recently or like from all time?
All time. Like
Oh,
the
okay.
most personally that has
I
affected
have
you
an
and
answer
changed
for
your
that
outlook.
already. I've
Yeah, I
already
do
thought-
have an answer. And something that I don't think like would really like correspond with someone like me. And it's more recent because of like certain things that were going on in my life. But
Yeah.
for some reason, it's always it's been once upon a time in Hollywood for me.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that you don't have to take everything this seriously, dude.
It's very comforting. Yeah.
Exactly. Life is too stupid for you to take this seriously. There are too many dumb things that are going on for you to worry this much. And I don't know, dude. Every time I watch, and like there's a certain era and like certain things that were going on in my life, that whenever like the song plays at the end and like the
Yeah.
climax
Yeah,
comes on,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I get all teary eyed. I'm like, dude, holy shit.
Me too,
Yeah.
me too.
What about you, Ren? What do you-
Okay, so my father, I've talked about this before. So my father is also like, let's say, a cinephile. So since I was a young kid, I've been exposed to like good cinema, like the movies that I would still choose at this point of time. So when I was around 7 or 8, I watched Kim Ki-duk's Spring, Summer, Autumn. That movie,
Mhm.
I can't,
Yeah.
Oh
and
shit, yeah.
and watching that movie, I watched it when I was like 7 or 8 or very young, right? It still is a part of me. It's the movie that made me fall in love with the medium. It's the movie that I can still recall most of the frames of the movie. It's just I don't have anything more poetic to say about it, because the movie it just speaks to me on a very, it's very corny to say this, but it definitely does speak to me on a very spiritual basis, although I'm an atheist. I would say it's a part of me. To this day, I would say that's one of the reasons why I love the medium. If I want to make cinema or be part of cinema, it's a movie that made me realize it's much more than what you see on TV, or it's much more than what is usually fed to you. It's much more than it's what taught me to ask for better cinema or crave for better cinema. It's what taught me not to settle for less. It's what taught me that what the art should be or what art should aspire to be. And it's like how I listened to Mad Villainy for the first time. And I remember listening to Mad Villainy for the first time when I was like 17 or something, was what kind of 17 or 18. When I was 18 was when I was like an Eminem stand before that, like when I was 16 and 17 and all that shit. I was listening to Imagine Dragons and all that crap. But I slowly started getting into hip hop, and I just listened to this one track called Do Not Fire, which is an instrumental by Madlib in Mad Villainy. I listened to that and I realized music is so much more than what you listen to on VH1. It's the same emotion that I had when I was Prince of Autumn back in the day, while I was like 8 or 7. And I would still hold that movie so close to my heart. And that is the one movie that I would say is a movie that has affected me the most. By far.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. What about you, Advait?
Yeah.
Okay, I have two movies. One is, again, as I said, it just sounds
Shame.
so weird
It's
for a
shame, right?
16-year-old to say
Also,
shame.
I'm sorry. I just need to talk about one more thing. I
Yeah, go
apologize.
ahead, go
I
ahead.
apologize. I was like it was like I hit myself because I forgot to talk about this. Okay, during this decade, I was like also see, I also saw Malayalam cinema. Like I knew at a very surface level. I was looking at it like even when you say the new generation cinema and all that indie stuff was coming in. I was seeing those cinema, and again I feel so old. But the new generation quote unquote thing started when I was like 10 or something, right? So Salt and Pepper and Chapa Kurusha and Kerala Cafe and all came out, and they started this whole way. So that is my first. So when I saw those movies, I thought, oh, this is when all these indie movies or this kind of these kind of different stuff is coming out. Is what I thought. But one night when I was like 13 or 14, in my father's hard drive, there was this folder and it was written G. Aravindan. I opened it and there were 4 movies within. I watched with my father and mother. I watched those movies from night to sunrise. I watched Kummati. I watched Uridathu. I watched Chidambaram to end the night. I've never sat down and watched the director in so much awe before, and just binge watched like a lot of his filmography. Just sat down and I was like, I need to watch more of this man, because G. Aravindan sir, how he makes movies. I consider him the greatest Malayalam director of all time, the greatest Malayalam movie director of all time. For my favorite, I consider him subjectively. Because Oridattu, Kummati, Chidambaram. That's all I need to say. If you watch those movies, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just
man.
fucking
Okay.
insane.
Like you watch Kummati, it was released in 1979, and you watch that and like you see what he does. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, you see Kummati and you see
That's
what's Niram, and like it's just the difference in film. It's just the way it looks. It's just so, like if you grow up watching Niram, like all of that comedy movies, and you're like, you don't even understand that cinematography exists.
The
camera doesn't matter, and you see this movie, like even Madilugal, this movie, like all of those movies, right?
Or
and you
John
like
Abraham's Amma Arian.
Amma Arian. Like Amma Arian
fantastic.
is an I love that movie. I love that movie
I love that
so,
movie so much. Yeah.
It's so different from normal movies, and it's like G. Aravindan is probably the pinnacle. I've only seen Kummati, right? Kummati is so beautiful. Like you see in like Akira Kurosawa, right? Like Ran was released like in 1980. It's just so beautiful. Like you wouldn't expect to see that. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It's exactly the same thing.
He's at that level. And I was thinking back then, like before I was born or 80s or something, I'm just thinking Malayalam cinema was Spadigam. That's it. No, there were people like G. Aravindan fucking destroying the crowd. Estepan. what a fucking movie!
We
You
grow
can't.
up like with this whole idea that this is how we grow up, right? Like Adur Basi, like award
Yeah,
padam, we don't want to watch. It's like
Adoor
boring.
Balakrishnan.
Like sorry, Adur Balakrishnan. And like when you watch his movies, it's just so amazing. Like wow.
Adoor Balakrishnan. Sorry,
Gopal
ഞാൻ
Krishna,
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
know who you
I
talking
meant
about.
Adur
sorry,
Balakrishnan.
sorry. ഞാനും തെറ്റിച്ചു.
And Adur Basi is just
Sorry,
too
sir.
ingrained in the
Yeah.
conscience
Oh yeah,
to.
I feel like I was blown away when I watched Anandaram. Did I pronounce it
I haven't
correctly?
seen
It's
Anandaram
Anandaram.
yet.
It's
I
Anandaram.
think so.
Anandaram, Anandaram,
Anandaram.
Anandaram.
It was
Anandaram
close
is
to
one of the greatest movies ever made. I have to say, Anandaram is one of the greatest movies ever
I
made.
think that was like the biggest inspiration for like
Yeah.
monologue.
So why I pause? I again apologize. Advay. Why I pause to say that is because I was just like, see, just like Lama said, like when I grow up, in my head, Malayalam cinema was like Dilip movies, Pandipada, Pachagudra, Punjabi House. That was it. And in my head, like new wave cinema came in when I turned 10 and all. But no, it existed. It did. There was a whole underground scene, almost like an indie scene here, and it was brilliant. Like I saw, why I decided to watch Amma Rian is because again I was around there like 14 or 15 or something, and I watched one shot of Amma Rian on TV on like a reporter channel or something or some news channel. There was this show on like at 7 p.m. where they talk about such indie classics or classic cinema and all that. And I saw one single shot of Amma Rian, and it was like this handheld shot, and it was just, and I saw that and it was like, these are the kids make it today. At that point of time, I was so obsessed with how movies are made, the technical side of it, the shots and everything, rather than the story. Now I'm more of a story guy rather than the technical side of things. So by then I was like, oh my god, the shot that he just took, that the movie came out in like 83 or something, if I'm not mistaken, and it looks like that. What? And I watched the movie and I was like, what the fuck? That's the thing. So yeah, these movies I have to talk about. That's why I said Adway. Yes, please continue.
Yeah. So one is shame again. It sounds so weird for me to say this. Everyone's just gonna think of me like having sex.
At least you didn't say nymphomaniac or something. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that film's number two. Then the other film, it's pretty basic, but I will say Raging Bull. Now,
Fair enough. I
no,
love Raging
because one thing Raging Bull, right? I'm looking through the reviews, and most of them criticize it uh, for its monotone. Like, it's just this guy you can't really sympathize with. He's
Yeah.
always doing these bad things.
That's the
But when
point.
I was watching it, I'm like, some people just don't change. You will
Yeah.
be told over and over again that what you're doing is wrong,
Yeah.
but it's going to keep happening. And that's something sort of thing that's been happening in my life. And at the end, when he still picks himself up and he does that scene from On the Waterfront, and he starts punching. Like
Yeah.
that scene was just so. And
Also,
yet, you have a small feeling like right after that, he's
yeah.
still probably gonna be the same.
Yeah.
And Raging
Advait,
Bull,
you should watch
again, I
The
am more.
Sopranos.
This is the opening scene is my favorite opening scene in cinema. The him boxing alone.
Oh, the boxing scenes are fantastic. Like those are the only scenes where he can like really be his true self. Like those are the scenes where he feels normal. He feels at home. The conversations at home where he keeps. Wait, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna this thing. Finish what you're saying. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah, like he keeps accusing Joe Pesci of like sleeping with his wife and never actually happens, but it escalates to the
Joe Pesci
point
is
of
in
domestic
Raging Bull?
violence. Yeah, that was his first
he-
movie with Martin Scorsese.
What a partnership.
Yeah,
What a
and
partnership.
like then you have that small montage, which is the only part of the film in color, where it just retraces his whole life, like that part of his life with his brother and his wife, and it quickly escalates back into the domestic violence part. And even the scene at the end when he goes and his children are at that house, but instead he wants to go back for the championship belt just so he can pay off those diamonds, which turn out to be fake. Like that, like hit home. And even for Martin Scorsese at that point in his life, like Taxi Driver might be his best film, but emotion wise, like where he was at that point in time, because prior to that he had been hospitalized because of doing too much cocaine. And like this, like he blood squirted out of his eye at one point. So like this is his magnum opus, I think for his life, like Irishman is a magnum opus in terms of his cinema life, but in terms of his personal life and everything that happened until that point, and its culmination with Robert De Niro, who, by the way, Robert De Niro's like such a fantastic actor. Like, he's like a household name. Like, yeah, bro, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino,
De
they're good
Niro or
actors, but
Pacino? The age old question: De Niro or Pacino?
like,
Or Don
I'll be honest, yeah,
Pacino.
De Niro, De Niro, no, not De Niro, sorry, Pacino
Yeah,
was fantastic in the Godfather films.
I
And
am a De Niro guy,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah, yeah.
If-
And the thing is,
okay.
he's also fantastic in Heat, but after a while, Pacino got typecast as the screaming guy, which he
Yeah.
does play it
Al
well.
Pacino.
But I want him to return back to the Godfather days. So I will have to
Yeah,
say De Niro because that guy is range. Like people will think, oh, he's a great actor. He's one of the golden age actors, but people don't really know how much range that guy
yeah.
genuinely has.
Like
Even
Dirty
in the
Grandpa. Like,
Oh yeah,
I mean, I
dude.
mean,
no,
A
even
Warwick
dude,
Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa, like the film is dog shit, but dude,
like he is
he's
just
genuinely having fun with that
yeah,
film.
no, that's
He's
the
not.
thing. That's the thing. That's why like people like my friend Nikhil is like a Pacino guy, and we have this conversation all the time. De Niro or Pacino, De Niro or Pacino, right? I'm a De Niro, he's a Pacino, and he just says and he throws like Dirty Grandpa in my face, and I'm like, he was still good in it. Can you say the same about Jack and Jill, my man? Do you really need to be reminded of Dunkachino, fam?
Oh, and one more film I want to add is The Piano Teacher.
Wow.
Isabel Huppert gives like my easily top five performances ever. Maybe even top three,
By who?
maybe.
By
I
who? By
don't know.
who?
What? I'm sorry?
By who in PM?
Oh, Isabel Huppert,
Alright.
the main actress. Like that scene at the end where she just like stabs herself and just walks away from that life. Like that.
Subtlety. You know, she winces before she stabs herself.
Yeah,
She is
exactly.
more scared of the idea of stabbing herself than stabbing herself.
Exactly.
Fucking brilliant.
Dude, there's that scene where he's playing the music and her eye just twitches. Like it's a steady cam shot and her eye just twitches, and that itself says so much. Like,
Man.
I need to binge watch Michelle Haneke. I wanted to do it this
Oh, yeah.
week, but yeah, dude. Yeah, even Amour was fantastic.
I'll watch it.
I only
Yeah.
I'll
I
watch
gravitate.
Kumati too.
That's how you pronounce the name.
Michelle Haneke. I've
I've
always been
been
saying
saying
Michael
Michael
Haneke.
Haneke.
Dude, YMS says Michael Haneke. I'm like, yeah, this is
Oh, he
Michael
says
I'm
that.
Haneke.
saying
He
Michael
says that
Haneke.
ironically,
Funny
bro.
Games fans.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He says
And
that
Again,
Oh,
I have to
wow.
plug the fact. I have to plug the fact that Funny Games have been again. I have to spread the gospel. Funny Games have been made into Malayalam. It's called White Boys. Watch it.
It actually,
Where?
genuinely,
Yeah,
Where
Not
do you
kidding.
watch it?
YouTube White Boys. Like
White
You
Boys.
can't
Just
watch
put
it
it
on
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
It's not on YouTube.
Also, in Funny Games, I just love that scene where they're in the car.
No, I
and,
haven't
like-
seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't
Oh,
seen it yet.
okay. I won't talk about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so you can
No, I
spoil the piano
Watch
teacher,
Funny Games, fam.
Whoa,
but
whoa.
not
Yeah.
funny games.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
seen
Yeah,
it
that's
either.
My bad.
Amour is also fantastic. I gravitate more to Amour because it's
love
an
Amour.
original.
Yeah.
It's an original film, while Piano Teacher is based on a book. So I gravitate more to Amour. But yeah,
Amour
both
is just
films-
so hard. It's just
yeah, it's
emotion. Oh God.
like it's definitely top five of the. It was at one point my favorite of the decade, but I watched Shane
Yeah,
again.
it is.
Like
It's
shit.
top 5 decade. Yeah.
Top five of the decade easily,
Decade.
and it's original, dude. Like holy shit! Like you don't get something like that written
Yeah.
from scratch,
Yeah.
and like
What about?
wait, what else?
Yeah, go on.
No, I didn't have anything to say. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna move on to Shruthin about the.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Shruthin. Yeah, you go. I'm done.
Shit.
So then, yeah, most emotionally impactful films other than.
I really need to think about this. Man. Ah, this is kind of hard to
But didn't you have
pinpoint.
to wake up early tomorrow? You see?
Yeah, I do.
Just so you know, like when this comes out, I'll know how the exam went. I have an exam tomorrow that I haven't studied for. I have 2 exams
Oh my
tomorrow that I haven't
fucking
studied
God.
for.
Dude, I
need to wake
kept this
up at-
episode
Wait,
so that the
Just so you
exams
can-
are over.
My
My
exams
exams are over.
gets over tomorrow.
we could have done this on Thursday
Yeah,
or some.
Ren, you have a
Wait, what?
future. That
Then you have the most like genuine future, like out of all of us, you and Shruthin. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm gonna
Yeah,
do.
you guys are like.
What does
old.
that even mean?
yeah, the rest of
Really?
us have a letterbox to account.
I do.
Very-
I update it every day.
Right. Shruthin.
Yeah,
I have
where,
a letterbox account too, but I
You
just
don't
want to
use
yeah,
it.
open.
but
Bro,
for
Okay,
wait.
us,
it's
it's a
not technical.
profession.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's like my
No.
hobby.
Shruthin, tell your emotionally impactful scenes where Ren can pass tomorrow with God's grace.
It's
Yeah,
like
then the
Yeah,
two
yeah.
o'clock in
Wait,
India or
God,
something,
It's
no?
2:30.
it's it's nearly 2:30. Yeah, wait. I guess like I can't really think of anything like from immediate memory, but like it's all it fucking comes back to this as always. It's it's a long day's journey into night. I That movie was, I guess, like just like Ren said about spring, summer, winter, fall,
Yeah,
autumn, spring.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I can never say the
yeah. It's
name.
very
So
hard to say say the name, but like that movie completely changed things for me. Like I had seen Mother before that a while ago, and like Mother was incredibly emotionally like even though I didn't even understand what it was about.
Darren
It,
Aronofsky,
no,
Bong Joon-ho.
okay, what was it? Tarkovsky,
Oh, okay,
Mother.
okay, okay.
Is it? It is Mother, right? I can't remember.
yeah,
It
yeah,
has
it's
to be.
mother,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
mother.
mother.
Yeah.
It's mother.
Mother.
yeah. And I saw this movie like A Long Day's Journey into Night. I saw it after seeing some. There's this page on Instagram, Cinema Monomore,
Uh-huh.
and they had like quotes from the movie. I was like very intrigued by it, and I'm like, damn, I'll check this out. And I saw the movie and it was insane. This is a very subjective opinion, right? Like
yeah,
I just love what he did with the movie. The movie looks amazing. He has these certain things that he does in like both his movies. It's like kind of a spoiler, so I don't want to say it.
yeah,
And this movie, like the motifs that he uses in the movie, like I saw that movie and I was like, damn, I'd like to make something. I really want to make something. And
yeah,
it's like it's so good. I There are other movies that have like emotionally affected me, but like nothing to like Dead
Yes,
Poet
right.
Society was a very emotional movie for me, but like A Long Day's Journey into Night blew them all out of the water because of like the sheer gravity of the way it like held me. Like I
yeah,
watched that movie and I like it was over and I was just sitting there like thinking about it. I'm like, wow, what did I watch? Like the final scene, it's just so beautiful. Like the way this guy loves dream sequences. The way he brings in like there are you feel like he's like drawing a lot of his stuff from Tarkovsky. Like there are like points, like certain things of Mother, like the sacrifice, and you see all of that in it. But it's still just like it doesn't have a narrative, right? It doesn't really have a narrative. It starts off as a sort of neo noir mystery investigating, but like it just after like the first half, it just floats away into something like almost ethereal, and it's like he's having so much fun doing it, and like you watch it and it's just so much, it's so just it gets you. And I was like, damn, this guy's amazing. I love this guy so much. I love
yeah,
this movie so much, and I saw it again. I still loved it. Like even more so in a very technical aspect. I love the color grading in that movie.
yeah,
Everything
Oh,
looks
yeah.
so crisp and
That's also
beautiful.
for the other people.
Kylie Blues, yeah.
Kylie
It's
Blues.
just uh, everything. I really love everything about that movie, even though there are like problems. I would say like you could point out problems. I just completely love that movie, and it's probably one of my biggest inspirations ever
yeah.
to make things, I guess. Yeah, that's that's this movie.
That's awesome.
Cyril, what about you?
Well, my personally effective movie isn't one of those movies that got me into movies or like
Mm.
inspire me to like make more movies or like generally it's not even that great. I think it's extremely cheesy today,
Mm-hmm.
but like when I watch it, like I don't want to get too personal, but like I haven't had like the best time in like in my social life. I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
too social with people and all that. But I I make fun of it, but like when I watch perks of being a fan.
No, genuinely there is that one scene in the car, like,
No,
it's
yeah,
cheesy, but it's
like
good.
the song
It's
Heroes,
nice.
right?
It
Without a
comes full.
doubt,
It came full circle. I called him Ezra Miller like an hour ago.
like the song Heroes, like I believe it's my favorite song of all time, which is weird because there are so many fucking songs, and like it's the movie like totally changed in the sense like changed my music taste, changed my aesthetic, like the way like the kind of things I'm into, the like got me into like more emo stuff which I am still into today.
Mm.
And like when it comes to filmmaking, obviously to be something like you know Grand Budapest or something like that, but like personally, like in my personal life, the way I behave, like things wouldn't be like at all same if it weren't for this movie. And I don't think it's a great movie for that matter. I, I don't
Yeah,
think it holds up. If I watch it today, I would like be like, yeah, it was okay and all that. But I saw it at a time when like you know it made sense why I would have called it my
yeah,
favorite movie at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did really make an effect.
It was like, without a doubt, like the best episode you had on this podcast. That's because
been
there were more than two people that
it's
had
been
We
like
have two people who have a life other than Letterbox, who are
yeah.
actually educated.
you
you.
overestimate
Yeah,
us.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. You overestimate us. I literally live to log movies on Letterboxd. I'm like, damn. Sometimes I look at my profile. I'm like, wow, I
Oh
saw
man,
See, I
59
live a
movies this
sadder
year.
bro,
life. You know
yeah,
what I
that happened
log?
to me.
You know what I log shit into? My anime list. Okay, I live a sadder life than all of you combined. Don't give
No,
me
like
that.
when I watched Race 3, right, I was like, fuck, I need to get this off my
Oh, yeah,
profile.
dude, he
What do I do?
tweeted about
I
it.
watched 3 more movies, so it goes off my
Get it out
recently
of his
watched.
letterbox. Oh,
I don't want someone to look at my profile and go, oh, Race 3.
I feel like Race
But
3 is like the
but
perfect.
Orurian Padam is still there. That's the thing.
Uh, that's cinema for you.
See, I feel like Race 3 is like the perfect way to end the episode on like a very high note in general. So, thanks for watching episode
I know.
700 of Society Talks.
Split this into 700 episodes.
And name each episode with a chapter and end with a epilogue
There's
with
a
Joker.
twist. It's
Where all
actually
our faces are just blurred.
this is a twist. It's actually the Second Hand Rants podcast with
I'm
featuring
just going to
guests.
end it here. I'm going to cut it here.